Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello, 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 no, I got the damn peanut gallery up here. Fucking up my nose. What's going on, people? How's it going? What's up? To all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers. It's another glorious day, my darlings. So I know you have all of your crumpets together because, darlings, it's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, darling. Ow! With Big Meats. What's up, babies? Hey. I see the princesses that come up in here. Hey, Princess Leia. Leia is up in here. Daryl is up in here. Laura is up in here on the YouTubes and things of that nature. It's going to be one of those days that it's Friday. And I know you guys are looking that way for those of y'all who are at home when you should be, because child. Are y'all ready for the world to shut back down again? Are you ready for the country to shut back down one more again? We already know we got Michigan not shut down, and I think Kansas, it's a couple other places that done already closed down the bars and the restaurants and this, that, and the other. And here in Georgia, there is talk that after Thanksgiving, that it's a possibility that we may be shutting down too, because our numbers have spiked and carrying on. So we getting there, children. We getting there, honey. Are y'all ready? What y'all gonna do? What have y'all planned? If you have not, now is the time. I think we're gonna get into that to this time. So let's plan and see what we got going on to get us prepared for another shelter in place, shutdown kind of thing of whatever. Okay. So be that as it may. I'm waiting on my co-host to come in. And let's see what they're going to do if they're able to come in, because we've all been kind of busy and running around and this, that, and the other on all of those particular notes. So, hey, Charles. I see Charles came up in here. Hi, Charles. How are you, darling? Okay, what's that? Woo, child. I know, Daryl. I know, honey. Leia, what you say? Thank God it's Friday. TGINF. Well, yes, honey. Yes, thank God that it is Friday. It was a wonderful Friday for me. You know, as far as me, I got out a little bit. I went out and had lunch and carried on, which was rather cute. And we just called that grace, darling, grace and mercy. But before we go any further, let me take a couple of minutes. One, I laughed at this when I heard it. I shouldn't have laughed, child, but it was just comical for me. And the reason why it's comical is because of how the current administration has been treating the damn pandemic. And to hear that Donald Trump Jr. is now COVID positive, honey. You say right. Okay. When that came across the news, I laughed, and I shouldn't have laughed, honey. But at the same time, the reason why I did is because I'm like, okay, it's not serious, right? Okay, it's not serious, huh? But now you done had it. Now your namesake got it. Really? Okay. So here we are with all of that. But another thing I need for y'all, we're on for all of you who are praise warriors and prayer children. I don't pray anymore. I send up praise reports because I believe that when praises go up is when the blessings come down. So I send up praise reports, and the praise report for healing and good cheer and speedy recovery goes out to Fred Hammond, as he is in the I.C.U. unit. I think he's there in Detroit. He's also corona positive, and they say he's in the I.C.U. now. So y'all send up healing, grace, and carrying on for gospel artist Fred Hammond. Okay, so we wanted to get that on out the way. Now I'm going to start here with the corona because there was something that had come across my desk, and I take it very personally because it's involving my son. Now, we've all talked, and it's no secret at this particular point because he's been locked up now for a little over a year. A year and some months. July 20th was when my son had become incarcerated for some bullshit that he done allowed his boyfriend to talk him into or not talk him into. Is the fact of it is that the case, he's sitting in jail right now, waiting to be arraigned and indicted and carried on. But because of COVID and everything, he's just sitting there in the county. The DA has not done anything with the case. We can't even get the lawyer to do anything because the DA has done nothing, has not released it, has not done anything. So this is the hurry up and wait. And like we said, we have been waiting since July 20th of last year, okay, to figure out what the fuck is going on. And what has happened, my baby come calling me today to tell me that he has been removed and put into another unit because he has 5 people in the cell, including him. And 4 of them had tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. And the reason why I'm pissed, the reason why I'm having issues and I'm trying not to explode because I don't want to get my blood pressure stuff going up or whatever, because there's nothing that I can do about it. But the part that's bothering me is that every other day, my baby comes out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he goes back. 11 o'clock is lights out or whatever. So when he comes out, they locked him up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for 24 hours, and then he doesn't come out until 3 o'clock the next day. So that's every other day there's a 24-hour lockdown period. And my child is telling me that they don't come through there on the lockdown and bleach and carry on the damn areas where they are in the common areas, the TV areas. They don't bleach none of that down. He told me that they have problems with trying to keep the damn cell together. They're responsible for keeping their own cells together. Okay, but they don't get the adequate products or whatever to clean it. Now, I'm having issues with that because we're in the fucking pandemic. And I know if it's happening there, this is happening across the country with prisons and carrying on. Um, it is bothering me because yes, let's do this. We already know that, okay, if don't do the crime if you can't do the time. We all know that little cliche, little shits and blase yakkities and all that. The problem that I have is in this particular time where we're dealing with the pandemic, we already know that prisoners get treated like shit. Okay. And all because of the 13th Amendment. For those of y'all who think that slavery is over, it is not. Because the 13th Amendment of the Constitution that we all live by, that we all protect, and this, that, and the other, clearly states, honey, that slavery has been abolished unless you are a prisoner. Okay. If you are incarcerated, honey, your rights and carried on have been taken away from you because you have become a criminal, then in that instance, you are a slave. Okay. And that's in your 13th Amendment. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up so I can read it directly. Okay. Because I'm paraphrasing it, but I want to read it verbatim. and carrying on. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution. It says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or in any place subject to their jurisdiction. I'm going to say that one more time. Okay. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist in the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. That's the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay. So yeah. Okay. So this is why I'm taking exception to this, because ever since this pandemic has been going on, when my son first told me about what they were doing with this lockdown and carrying on, it 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 it, it just digs at me because I can't do nothing. You know, I'm so used to running and I can point my finger and I can roll my neck. I can huff and puff and hell, I'll even beat somebody's ass if necessary. But I can't in this particular case because there's nothing I can do. And so at the same time, I sit up and I tell him, I'm like, listen, I don't know why God have you on this path, but can't nobody do this but you. That's why you're in this situation. Whatever reasons that you're on or why you're on this particular journey, I don't know why. But whatever you're supposed to learn from it, honey, come on and learn this quickly so this can be over. But this here is just, I won't say destroying me, but what it is doing, is taking me through the ringer. Okay. This is probably my house reflects it. I keep telling you, my house look like a storage unit that done seen an earthquake and maybe, a windstorm. And it's reflective of that because every time I try to move something, every time I want to clean something, I have wonderful ideas, but I just feel as though I'm stuck, and things and it's bothering me. And I know that it's directly related to dealing with my son. But in any event, a lot of the stuff that goes on with prisons and prison reform and carrying on, this is why with this new administration coming up in here, this is what we need to talk about. These are some of the things that we got to get together. Y'all know Haji, and I'm sure he's probably going to come up in here later because he's been kind of needling me today. And he loves, see, today is one of his days where he wants to sit down and want to argue and shit and have a fucking point to prove, okay? And this, that, and the other, because he's on this whole Kamala Harris shit, okay? But the thing that I'm having an issue with is that, okay, everybody want to keep bringing up the fact that she was an attorney, she was a prosecutor, that she went through this, that she helped incarcerate. She was, her initiative was to put parents in jail if the kids didn't go to school and this, that, and the other. And a lot of folks thought that that was evil and she shouldn't do that because you can't tell kids and you can't this and you can't that. And okay, it's harsh and it's cruel. And yes, when we did something similar like that in Michigan, I too had said the same thing. What the fuck the parents got to do with it? But I'm coming from a household where my parent was, because my mother was involved in our school. Okay. She wasn't responsible for my choices. But we have a number of parents who haphazardly just let their kids run amok and they had no parenting skills. They had no really, it's a sad shame that a woman's womb is not connected to her instinctual nature, because I just feel that folks who are not instinctual with wanting to have kids and having kids and this, that, and the other, that their womb should just cut the fuck off. They should not produce eggs or whatever. They should not be able to have kids, because those are the same children who are the same people who will sit down there They have a slew of goddamn kids. These kids are bad. You know, they become hellions. They become little minions and shit. And then those are the ones where they done got in the system. We got to talk about whether or not we're going to allow for them to come in. Well, this is where the government comes in, and now we got all these different programs to try to help you raise your goddamn kids. See, which is why the laws have got to a point where parents can't do shit with their kids because the government got their hand and how parents should raise their goddamn kids. See. And so we got this catch-22 going on because those who are the do-gooders, and I'm gonna equate this to this particular argument. I'm going to equate this argument that I'm making here about parents and children and how folks are mad at Kamala for doing what she did. I want to equate that argument with how folks with the Second Amendment are sitting up there saying that, oh, but I'm a responsible gun owner and carrying on. Why y'all trying to take my guns? And it ain't me. I should be penalized for those who have mental issues and this, that, and the other. And we kept saying, well, we don't know who's who. Okay, because hell, everybody on the same shit. We don't know who's who until you got to prove it. Same with kids. I don't know who's who. I don't know whose parents are not doing what in the damn school system. And if your child is skipping school or has a truancy issue and you haven't corrected that, then hell, something is wrong up in here. Okay. And that was in California. Okay. So a lot of people, you know, they were sitting up there. She was a prosecutor. That's the other thing. She was a prosecutor. So a lot of black folks are sitting up there saying she sold out black folks and this, that, and the other. She sat up there and she put this thing to where a lot of folks were going to jail and losing their houses and stuff because, you know, all of that, when folks would put their houses up for their kids and then the kids don't show up and then the parents or the grandparents lose their house or they end up going to jail for their kids. But y'all heard me say this on the several times that I bring this up. You put that goddamn house up on a motherfucker that you knew wasn't no goddamn good. Okay? You knew that fool had the propensity of leaving and jumping state and carrying on. Y'all done sit down there and I got real women of Brewster Place, honey. Okay, and knew what it was. But you didn't want little Johnny or little Ray or little Pookie Boo in the damn jail system. So you want to hurry up and get him out because you didn't want that to be an embarrassment to the family, or didn't want to or wanted to show him that y'all love him and y'all gonna get him out or get Charlene out. Okay, and this, that, and the other, and then this heifer sits down here and does something to fuck up your shit. Hmm. Hmm. This is apple cranberry juice, y'all. Um. So all of that, um, I said all that because, like I said, Haji is needling at me today. And when it comes down to this kind of shit, it pisses me off because we have not taken these issues the way we need to take them. We have not taken these issues to the state's office, our senators are carrying on. We have not diligently stayed on top of them. When it comes down to prison reform and carrying on, that was something that was part of their platform this time, that we need to hold their feet to the fire. You understand? We need to stay on top of that. We cannot let that go up under anybody's anything. And also, we need to look at that 13th Amendment and find out how we can revise that. Turn this arrow for me. We need to find out how we can revise. Don't turn it all the way down like you used to do. Just, yeah, we don't need it on Arctic blast. Okay. I just need to cool it off up in here. Okay. But what we do need is what we need is some people that's going to really put this shit together and keep it together. Okay, we need to look at this system and look at it for real. We really do. And see, with President-elect Joe Biden, which today is his birthday, so happy birthday, Mr. President-elect. Um, what we need to do is make sure that we hold them accountable. Okay? What'd you say? A big meat popsicle. Okay? We got to hold them accountable. Let me go up here and get some of y'all comments and carry it on so we can what is this? It's not going to last long when Joe Biden get in office. Let us hope, honey, because I know he's coming up in there to make a change, but we have to make sure that we hold him accountable. Why is there every other day lockdown? You know what, I've been trying to understand that myself. I've been trying to understand that myself, Amy. And only thing that we've been getting was this was for COVID. But the question is, who or why are you not taking the necessary precautions? Because they're already locked up. Okay? They're already locked up. So if anybody got it at this particular point, it's because it done came in from the outside somewhere. So you have new criminals coming up in there, or new arrests. And I ain't gonna call them all criminals. You got new arrests coming up in, okay, that you have not quarantined and put them aside before you put them in fucking general population or whatever. You ain't quarantined them and tested them or whatever. You got all the motherfucking workers. Now, they're the ones who coming in and out on any kind of freely basis. Where are the testing for all them motherfuckers? Huh? Where's the test? Why aren't they the ones sitting up there making sure that everything gets together? And where are the cleaning supplies and things? You know these folks are you let them out the rooms, you got to clean the shower, this, that, and other. My son said that damn shower was only cleaned once a week. Now, he could be fabricating. Okay. But he said they clean it once. He said he's seen it, they've cleaned it once a week. Now, you're talking about folks who may have athlete's foot. Okay, they done pissed on the floor. They jacking off and carrying on in the shower. All of that, and you talking about in there where there's grout. Okay, you got a little towel for, and there's grout in there. So whatever is up in there, you got to go bleach all that out. You got to sit down there and spray it down and let the bleach sit for 15 minutes so that because it foams. Have you ever noticed that? Bleach will foam up and carry on when you let it sit because it's cleaning and bubble up, you know. But once a week, yeah, I'm having serious issues with that. Okay, I'm having serious issues with that. My prayers for all of them, especially your son. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Just because you are in prison does not mean you are not human. Wrong is wrong in any season. Say that, how do you say it? Okay. Abolish legal slavery. Hey, okay, hashtag that. Right. Okay. Hashtag that. Okay. Many people think that prisoners should suffer greatly when incarcerated. I think that a society is defined by how they treat their lowest citizens. Oh, now that's big because I say the same thing. Who are we as a nation to allow people to suffer and be cast out because they were they are out, were in prison, because they are out, were in prison. Okay. You know, that's a biblical principle, honey, for traditional Christians and those who come from traditional teachings. That there is what is said, honey. It is taught that what you have done to the least of these, you have done unto me. I'm gonna let that fester. What you have done to the least of these, you have done unto me. And that's supposedly Jesus's words. That's in the red letter editions of the King James Version Bible. Didn't y'all say that the red letters are the letters that Jesus are the words that Jesus said himself? That there comes from that. What you have done unto the least of these, you have done unto me. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna sit and rock for a minute. I'm letting that fester just for a little second. You understand? because we're so quick. Lock them up, this, and this. And damn right, there's some folks that need that really and truly are savages. Okay, and they need to have their freedom taken away from them and carrying on. The violent criminals and carrying on and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. All right. My son has a very serious charge. Okay. And I'm not saying this because he's my son. I'm saying this because I know that this is not him. Okay, because the charge is a sexual charge against children, so they're saying. Okay, now the boy happened to be 14 years old, and this, that, and the other. And there's a whole bunch of dynamics with this. And I know my child. Now that I know. I know mine. Okay. And though he's not mine biologically, I know this one. And what they're accusing him of, I know that he didn't do. Okay. That's not his that's nowhere in his makeup. And because of that, this is another one of the hardest things that we have to deal with and contend with. Okay. But what you have done unto the least of these, you have done unto me. And a lot of times, we'll get up there and we'll get folks who want to crucify prisoners and this, that, and the other. But just because they're in jail does not mean that they have to have inhumane treatment. Because here's the ticket. Our taxes pay for inhumane treatment. How about that? We pay for that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And in some cases, they live a little bit better than some folks. They get 3 meals a day, sometimes 6, depending on how they're doing snacks. They get medical treatment. Some of us ain't even got fucking insurance. Okay. They get plenty of air and exercise or whatever. When they go on the ground, they get into the gym and work out and this. That. You understand? We pay for that. We pay for that. And yet, we still want to treat them as though they're less than, and there's supposed to be a rehabilitative component, and that there is not the T. Things are a bit better today for me, at least. Thank all of you for your prayers for your brother Meach and your loved ones. Thank you, baby. Okay. Yes. Okay. I felt the same about Kamala at first when she was running for president. But on further reflection, I can't demonize her for doing the job she was paid to do. If you don't like the laws of the land, you should wake up and realize that the officials you elect are the ones that write them. And that's very big right there. That there is very, 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 very big. Because again, that's what I was saying about her. Because I said she's a prosecutor and she's going to do what she needs to do to interpret the laws that she needs to interpret. You know what I'm saying? And then when we're talking about education, when we're talking about the school system, when we're talking about a high dropout rate and carrying on, the conclusions that she came up with at the time were probably something that probably made sense then, but it pissed a lot of people off because when you're looking at this, you got to look at those who work. Okay, single parents. I work. I know what I got my child to do with this, that, and the other. I got to make a living. I'm trusting him to do this, and this. How in the hell you gonna penalize me when I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and this little bastard got a hair up his ass? Or because whatever mental stability my child is dealing with, maybe you're not feeling love, you're not feeling wanted, you feel as though somebody's not giving you enough time, and then the gangs and the streets and the peer pressure from those around him got him out there skipping school, smoking cigarettes, drinking. Now you know what to smoking weed. Now you know what to snorting coke. Now you know what to selling coke. And now you out there see all that and trying to be cool and hip and this, that, and the other. See, we don't understand that particular aspect of when it comes down to kids. And when folks end up going to court, those are some of the elements that end up at the fight in court or this, that, and the other. For somebody else to tell you that, oh, ignorance of the law is no excuse or whatever, and you should have been a better parent, and how come you don't have this in place? Bitch, wait a minute. What you ain't gonna do is sit up there and tell me what needs to be in place because I had everything in place. Okay. And this, that, and the other. Now, okay, what can be done? Because apparently he done got bored or whatever, or she done got bored, whatever that is. Maybe I don't have the family support that I need to get Ray Ray and Johnny and Carlotta and Charlene and them, into these particular programs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or it costs money, and I'm sitting up here I'm working 2 or 3 jobs or whatever, trying to keep food on the table, trying to make sure they get the goddamn uniforms. So that part we understand, but that did come from parents who were doing the right thing, and because of how the laws are written, they got caught up and got it. Those are the ones that got caught up in the cracks of the bullshit. You know. Then it comes the ones who the laws are supposedly targeting. Those are the bitches that get the goddamn skate by. They get all of the programs. Child, listen. I know folks that will sit down there, and I got so tired every time they turned around, honey. Social services was giving them, they gave them money to get a new place. They gave them money for the security deposit. Then they gave them a furniture voucher. Then they got a stove and refrigerator voucher. Then they got voucher for the kids to go get new clothes and this, that, and other. And this happened, it seemed like it was every 6 months or every maybe 6 to 18 months. Every time something went down, this child was able to go and get the whole shebang all over again. Okay, and it would piss me off. I'm like, how the hell do they still keep paying for your ass when shit over here? I'm the one who happened to be on hard times, but I know I can bounce back. But just get me to the hump or over the hump, and yeah, I got to jump through hoops and carry it on in order to make it happen. And then you gonna threaten to take my goddamn kids and this, that, and other. Really? No. Okay, that's the bullshit in it. That's the bullshit in it. Okay, the bullshit in all of it. Okay. What we got? Glad that today is better for you, Eric. Okay. Um, this administration will be the most scrutinized ever for this and many other reasons. Joe must do everything he can to keep his campaign promises. That the honey, okay, right, okay, okay. That was supposed to say that they are and were in prison. Okay, or were in prison. Not our. Okay, okay. We should definitely reform the criminal justice system. There are also a lot of people of color with disabilities who have been put in prison for nonviolent crimes or have been tricked into signing a confession believing that they would be released. Part of that is because there's not enough training on how to handle them. I'll send you a story of a young black autistic man in Virginia who just got pardoned for a car accident that wasn't his fault. You know what? Let me tell you something about those kinds of scenarios, because see, those kinds of scenarios really take me out of here. Okay, particularly when we're dealing with autistic children and those who have um, other learning disabilities and carrying on, but they're functional. They're functional folks and things, but they're a little different. With how they adjust to life, but they're not they're not invalids. You know what I'm saying? To where you just got to hold their hand through all of this. They know how to function. But some of this stuff, you got guns and this, that, and the other. They said if they're taking you at your word. You understand? They're taking you at your word and be like, okay, we were told as kids, police officers, honey, you go to the police officers, you do what they tell them to do, blah, 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 blah. You tell the truth, you blah. And then all of that goes out the window, because what it becomes is those officers, those prosecutors, those children, they're trying to win a case. You see, they're trying to win a case. They're trying to get whatever headlines there is, to get the public to believe that they're doing their jobs. And oh, we're so swamped, but we got it. But we got it. Okay. I tell you, let's go back to Jussie Smollett. Okay. Chicago wasn't doing shit with all them other damn murders and fights and this, that, and the other. In fact, the police department was getting heavily scrutinized. Then this thing with Jesse come down, and then all of a sudden now all their resources, they want their $133,000 back because all their resources done went to this, and oh, they solved that crime within days. Which said that you could do this for anything damn else. So how come you haven't put that same energy into solving these other goddamn crimes? You understand? Yeah. Okay. Parents should be able to decide about their children, what their children do. If they don't want them to go to public schools, they shouldn't be penalized. Our education system is a tragic mess. Listen, let me tell you something, because there was a meme going around saying, can we just accept the fact that Betty DeVos just lost her job too? That bitch should have never had it. Yeah, I said it and I meant it. Okay. Betty DeVos should have never had that motherfucking job. Never. How did you hire somebody who has never taught, don't know anything about a public school system? How did you hire them to be the over the Department of Education? In what country did that make sense? I guess here, because we hired it, right? Okay. But the whole thing here, people, is that we have to, if 2020 has not taught us anything, and it has taught us a few lessons. But one of the ones that we need to look into is that we have got to learn how to pay attention and how to let our voices be heard when it comes down to what the fuck it is that we say we want out of this life. What we say that we want out of our governments, what we say that we want out of our politicians, because they work for us. Ain't that what you tell the police officers when you, my tax dollars pay your salary. You work for me. Ain't that what you love throwing up in the goddamn police officer's face when you think he pulled you over illegally, or you mad because you got pulled over? So how come we don't do that with our senators? How come? Listen, my vote got you up in here, motherfucker. It would get you right the fuck on up out of here on the next election. Okay. Now you gonna make this right. Okay, or you got to go. You understand? Now, how come all of us have not done that? Or do we even care? Is that the better question? Do we care? Do we care? Hmm. I wonder. And apparently, in some cases, I don't think that we do, because we have allowed the world to become what it is. Now, let me say this, and I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. And there's some change that we have had that's for the betterment, because we had to come out of archaic thinking as technology grew and as technology has developed, and we found better and easier ways to do things. And we see how life has evolved and how people are able to stand up and be authentic. You know, we have allowed life to change with the times, you know, and trying to end racism and trying to end a lot of the overs of the phobias and isms and shit. Okay, racism, sexism, womanism. Okay, homophobia, Afrophobia. All the, just trying to get these things into and just trying to get some perspective. The world has changed, but some of those archaic values, folks want to bring with them, and and part of the thing is why they're still archaic is because they were made and designed at a time when the world was different. The world has changed some, and the value system hasn't. We keep saying go back to basics, but then what becomes basic? What becomes basic? Because oftentimes, and I think my definition of when we say go back to basics, we have to go back to the uniform way that is uniformly benefiting everyone. Okay, uniformly benefiting everyone. When you do your reading, writing, arithmetic, okay, when you do all those things, honey, those things benefit everyone. But of course, the caveat in all of that was it was against the law for people of color to be reading. It was against the law for women to read. Y'all remember that? Okay, it was against the law for women to have certain jobs and carrying on until we got into the wars, and then they had to go to work and you know working in the factories and working on assembly lines and carrying on. That's where Rosie the Riveter come from. That a woman can do it. We're strong and we can do it. That's where all that comes from. Because women end up having to go to work when at one point they wasn't able to. That's why we still got jobs that are considered women's jobs. How many of y'all were shocked the first time y'all saw a male nurse? Because we were always told that women were nurses and men were doctors. Hmm. Huh? Right. I love to see a female mechanic. Okay, because to see a woman work on a car. Okay, I think that's just one of the coolest things because she took the mystery out of it. Their whole damsel in distress. Oh, I don't know nothing about a car jazz. She took that out and she's able to move on. You know what I'm saying? And do her thing. So I'm looking at it from those particular perspectives. You know, um, yeah. Wait a minute. Let me go over here because I saw some comments. Bye bye, Betsy, you evil, stupid hag. Okay. Hello. Okay. So far, it appears future President Biden is making wise choices when it comes to when it has come to his cabinet selections. Hello. I'm waiting to see what he gonna do with Stacey. Okay. Hello. I voted down ballot. Okay. Okay, shocking that a long-term politician knows how to stack a cabinet with qualified appointees, drain the swamp. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Right. Okay. Okay. Female mechanics or plumbers are awesome. Okay, right. Aha, a female plumber, baby. Okay, yeah. Women used to have their husbands speak to the doctor for them about their health information. Their husbands had to give them written permission to have a credit card. Yes, you remember. You know what my mother told me that back right when I was born. No, right after my sisters. My sisters were born in '77. They're twins. Um, my mother wanted to. She said she was done. So she had her tubes tied, clipped, burned, and all of that, right? And she said that they told her, "Oh, you have to get your husband's permission because he may want to have more kids." She said, "No, I don't need to get his damn permission. This is my body. This is my insurance. I am done with having kids, and you're going to do what the hell I said do." Okay. She said, "Now look, he got two boys and two girls, honey. What else is there to have? What else?" Okay. So, uh, yes. Okay. Um, it was always assumed that before it became one of those things, because I don't know if my mother started it. I just know she was brazen enough to do it. We don't have my father's last name. Now, my parents were not married when I was born, but when my siblings were, they were. And we none of us have my father's last name, and that there was monumental. I'm a 1970s baby, so that there was brazen because the doctors and stuff, because they automatically put on the birth certificate the father's last name. Okay. And my mother said, no, my kids are going to have my daddy's last name because my father was one of 12 kids and there was 10 boys. So she said, no, that name was going to go on. Okay. That name was going to go on. She said, my father has passed on and no, we need some Taylors up in here. So that's how we kept our name or my mother's maiden name. How about that? So now in this whole thing, um, all of that, y'all watched The Burning Bear with Farrah Fawcett. Women had to get permission from their husbands to go to school. Remember that in Good Times? Florida was going to night school or whatever. James gave her permission at first, but then he got mad because he felt like she would become, you know, oh, woman, you changed and you this and you that. And remember all that? Yeah, the bullshit, ain't it? Huh. But that's what that was. So in understanding all that, we took the scenic route because here we just have to make sure that these folks gonna come up in here and do the right goddamn thing. That's one thing to win the you know, this battle, but the war is far from over. Okay, and I really believe that the work is just getting started. Now, for those of y'all, now we've said this before, those of y'all who want to grill Kamala Harris about what she's done, oh, she and Joe are responsible for locking up all the black men and blah, blah, blah. And they're not responsible. They are not responsible. They are not motherfucking responsible. I'm going to tell you who's responsible. Okay. The people who are responsible, I'll put that on the police officers. I'm going to put that on the states and carry it on, because when the federal laws were made, they had one thing, but then the states came in and adulterated that. But then you got the little nickel slick motherfuckers who understood the law and then manipulated it. See, we can't put all this on those who made the law. Y'all want to throw Joe and Kamala up under that bus and things because that damn crime bill and all of that bullshit? Okay, fine, that's your prerogative. But don't you dare sit down there and think that those who were not innocent, okay, didn't play a part in shaping all that. Because doing that damn drill, and as we said this the last time, I need for y'all to sit down there and get mad at all the black folks that had pressured them into signing that damn bill and pressured them into making sure that that shit was enforced. Okay, if we gonna be mad at folks, then let's be mad at everybody, and then we need to hold everybody fucking accountable. Okay, what? And you know what? Here's the question. The question is, what when we say holding folks accountable, what are the consequences for that accountability? Huh? What are the consequences for saying we're going to hold you accountable and responsible for your actions? What do we know what those what the wages of the era is? What are the wages of accountability? Because that's cute to say. Oh, we're going to hold you accountable. Okay, but that's just like me. So if they're saying, okay, just fess. Basically, we said we just need you to fess up to it. Don't lie about it because you know you did it. Just fess up. Be accountable. Okay, so now I fessed up and said, yeah, I kicked in your motherfucking door. Yeah, I did it. Now what? What you gonna do? What is the penalty? What is that penalty? Hmm? Yeah. Okay. Come on, Red. I'm gonna bring you in just a second. Let me pull you up so I can bring you in here. Oh, you back.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Hey. Same shit, different day.
Okay. I'm scared of that.
Accountability. Accountability is a fragment of unpowered imagination.
Ooh.
When I say unpowered imagination, that means you are imagining that somebody is going to doggone feel some type of doggone crush against their pride or their presence in the. Hold on one second. Hey, let me get a number one double.
Oh, that sounds good.
Lemonade. You got strawberry lemonade? I'll take that.
Okay.
That'll be all. 952. What in the trunk? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
How you doing tonight? Yeah, but man, like you're saying, it's easy to say somebody's accountable for their actions.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're saying, what exactly is what is the punishment?
Right.
Like, what's the punishment? You know, like, what can we actually do to them as a people that would make them stand up and change directives, and you know what I'm saying, and decisions that they make and things they do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can go out there and do some major fuck shit that nobody agrees with, and we can complain. But what is a complaint going to get us?
Exactly.
I feel like as a people, we need to have something where let's say we go like this. Say that we have a personal vote, right?
Right.
Like we can have the right to just all of a sudden say, okay, polling stations are open this week, and we need to go in here and say what they did. We don't agree with it as a people, this and that, and we feel like their salary should be decreased by 30%.
Okay.
Or maybe we should take their salary away from them until they doggone make decisions that are fair to the entire doggone board, or should I say the public, all the way across the board. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what that'll make them go in, retract the bullshit. They know it's bullshit, because every time a politician put something out that's bullshit, they know it was bullshit before they sign it.
How about that?
So I think if we had control over their doggone pockets, accountability would be a dirty word to them.
Okay. Let me go up here to the comments. Buck says, your consequences must be those similar to what we tried to hold clown to, including losing your job for impeachment or other legal lawful means. Okay, Amy says, accountability for presidents means they get voted out or impeached. For politicians, same. For judges, same. For sheriffs, same. How do you hold a police union accountable? That's real good.
That's a good one, yeah.
That's real good. Because see, the union itself is basically it's a group of folks that's volunteered to be the representative for the organization. So they've unionized.
First, we need to cast votes and pass a law that there's no such thing as doggone administrative leave with pay when you do something totally wrong. Wrong is wrong, right is right.
Listen, whenever a regular job, something goes down and you are suspended for 3 days, there's no money.
Ain't no money. Right.
Ain't no motherfucking money. No. You lost those 3 days. That's not showing up in your check. Okay. So how come?
Yeah.
Fuckers like that. They always go back to desk. You don't pick them off the street and put them on the desk.
Right.
Or they suspend it with pay pending investigation. Hell no.
At the end of the day, though, it's a vacation, and I thought a vacation was something great. So it sounds like you're rewarding them for fuck shit. I'm just saying.
Amy said in the restaurant industry, the biggest incentive for improvement is to hit people in the pocket.
Yep.
You know it.
And I'm gonna tell you, Amy. I'm gonna tell you what everybody don't know about me. I don't know if even Meech knew this, but I used to be a general manager for a food chain that people known in the world as Ryan's Family Steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I used to be a general manager for Ryan's, and my thing was this: if you standing around doing nothing, then I don't need you there, because what you doing when you're doing nothing. Normally, a person like you're supposed to be doing your job, right? And if I walk out and I see something need to be done and I do it myself, I don't need you there. And what I used to do is I walk up on you and be like, hey, everything, what y'all doing? Oh, we talking about, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Why don't you talk about that at home? Why don't you clock out? And they be like, oh, wait, my shift not over. Oh, your shift over.
No,
because I got empty pans. I got empty pans on the line. I'm running out of silverware. And y'all standing over here talking about what the hell you did at the club last night. Your shift is over. They're like, oh, I'll get to it right now. I said, no, I'm not these other managers. Everything that I just came and complained about, I did myself before I walked over here to prove to myself that I didn't need you here. So you have a great day.
Right.
And they used to get mad at me, but that was me hitting your ass in the pocket.
Right.
I'd had one girl, white girl, also turn around. She thought she was just a glamour queen. Oh my God, I got my baby to daycare to think about everything and everything. I said, you know what? Let me ask you this. Was you thinking about your baby when you were standing over there leaning and people needed refills on the drinks and the food is doggone empty on the line? I said, you give a shit about your baby at that moment.
Right.
So that's what I did, and that's how I say she's absolutely correct. I used to hit her in the pocket hard. I'll tell your pockets up, boy.
Lord. Stand back, report to the show. Your expertise is required. Okay. And you love Ryan. Okay.
Oh yeah, I ran one of the best ones. I ran the one in Champaign, Illinois, down there by the Fighting Line now. Yeah, Illinois State University. All this shit was down there. So when I say I had a good place, bro, my customer service was so high when I was there. I helped a guy, my chef, one of my cooks couldn't get it right. A steak he ordered, because Ryan's used to be famous for the 19-ounce porterhouse.
Right.
Okay, and this guy ordered it, and I seen the steak come back 3 times. I'm like, what the hell? So I walk out there to the floor, and I says, everything okay? And he said, I'm trying to get them to get my steak right. He said, I'm not upset. It's just that I like my steak a certain way. And I said, what exactly is that? And he said, I like it medium well with a rare personality. And I said, okay. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to cook you a fresh steak. Don't worry about it. I got you. So I went to the back. I told dude, and he said, I don't understand what this is. I said, let me tell you what it is. I said, he wanted medium.
Oh, wait a minute.
So I cooked the steak, marinated it up real good for him, plated it up, bought it out there, then turned around, and I doggone took the steak off his bill. And I told him, I said, you'll never have this problem again. I said, if you do come in here, you know what I'm saying, when you do come in here again, if you think you're going to order a steak or a 19-ounce porterhouse or whatever, ask for me. And I gave him my card, and I said, and I'll personally cook it again for you, because I understand, I like my steak that way as well. And we talked, and he was like, oh, okay, cool. Before he left out of there, this man with a polo shirt and shorts and flip-flops on walked over and gave me his damn card. He owned an entire fucking dentist service with multiple doggone locations and said anything I ever needed, it is no charge.
Wow. Now, you explain what the hell that stick was. So what would you explain it? You hit a dead zone as you blinked out.
Okay, the steak was, it was a 19-ounce porterhouse, and he said he wanted it medium well with he said he wanted medium well with a rare attitude.
Right.
So all it is a medium well steak, and it's more pink than brown.
That's what I thought. Right.
That's all it is. But when he sent it back, and that waitress wrote it on the thing, just cook just couldn't get it together. What the fuck she was talking about?
Right.
So,
You take it down 5 degrees. Right.
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't get that. So,
yeah, take it down because I tell him I want mine medium well, no pink.
Right.
So you up it to 3. Yeah.
There you go. And I try to tell everybody it's just everybody eats their meat circles. I used to do this on the ship, when I was in the U.S. Navy as a chef, and I used to run the doggone the chief's mess. But when officers come through and they eat better food than everybody else, and they have a day where they have a special meals day, and everybody gets the T-bone steak, baked potato, lobster tail on special meals day. Everybody comes to But when they come up to the line, they come up to one side of the grill and they ask for their steak the way they want it. And when they get to the other side of the grill, the steak get their plate the way they ask for it.
Right.
I had it set up that way. So I had one guy, he used to doggone come. He used to walk up and be like, 10 and Timmy. And everybody fucked his steak up. But they would just look at him like, oh, whatever. They just give him whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he complained. But them guys pay for their own food. In order to have that quality of food, they pay a ration out their checks to have that type of food.
Right.
So I jumped on that thing one day. I said, bro, 10 and 10. He mean what he say. When a person eating, I said, let me tell you. So I told him, I said, when a white boy that big coming through here, he a country white boy. And when he tell you 10 and 10, he mean exactly what the fuck he said. Right. I said, he was like, what you mean? I said, do everybody else. I said, ask the 4 people behind him how they want their steak. Throw their steaks on and start cooking them. Slap his down, count to 10, flip their steak, flip his steak. Then after you flip theirs, count to 10, and doggone hand him his steak at the other end.
Right.
Right.
He just wanted browned. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. That's all it is. He was like, but it's not done. It's not your food.
Exactly.
If that's what the fuck he want to do with himself, that's his business.
Right.
So he was like, and he ever since then he don't let nobody else touch his steak. When he seen me do that and show the dude how to do it, he said, I'm glad you taught him. He said, but I'm not eating another fucking steak unless you're cooking it, Petty. I was hey. I'm like, okay. But it's all about how you present yourself in the world.
Let's go here.
Okay. Aaron says, I used to be a general manager in the restaurant industry as well. My motto, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
You got time to clean. Yes, sir. That was my favorite song.
If your work was not productive, I made it reflect on your next week's schedule. They used to call me Captain Hook. Hot damn.
That's what I'm talking about. I used to already
I
say it all the
was
time.
the ATM. Oh, really? At the Vortex in Atlanta briefly. I managed a couple of other places as well. I've done every front of the house position basically. Oh, you did that at the Vortex?
Really?
Chad, I love it.
I'm finna switch up on you, Meech. I'll see you in 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Eric says, yes, you never know who may walk into your establishment. You should treat all customers like they're the most important person that you've ever met. Exactly. Okay. Plot twist, steak and lobster is usually the bad news meal for the enlisted folk, though. Okay. I have been everything from the busboy to the boss. If you don't want to work, I could always do your job and send you home. But hey, well, you know what? When you get to that point of being a manager, that's what it is. If you running the whole thing, that means everything in here I know how to do. Okay, which is why the responsibility falls on you. You know, it becomes a little bit that way, and it will wear you out though, because shit, you get and those of us who work security, we know as a security supervisor, and account manager and carrying on that shit there, when you had to sit down there and learn how to work, how to schedule individuals and things of that nature, and then you had to learn how to understand your budget because you can't go over budget, and then when folks always want to call off, I hate contract houses for that because it seemed like every motherfucking payday, somebody called off and didn't want to show their asses up to work. And you knew they was going to get high and shit or going to get drunk because they got some money in their pocket. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I had to digress a little bit. See, story confession. When I went to cranking out on the mess desk, anytime they had steak, I snuck it back to my shop. Cooking a quality steak is a special talent. Yes, it is, Hattie. Yes, it is. Okay, then let's do this. Right now, let me go to a commercial break while he's getting ready to change mediums. He's gotten out the car. He's going to his computer. I'm going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, I want to go into something that, again, is another personal thing for me because today is November 20th. And for those of you who are not familiar with today's date, today is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And with that, I'm going to be, we're going to celebrate the lives of those who were killed to senseless violence and heinous crimes for 2020. I'll get more off into that in a few minutes. So let me do this commercial break and I'll be right back, honey, okay? I said, all right.
Be bold, be unique, be the T with a unique body oil fragrance from the Sensuality Fragrance Collection. The Sensuality Collection embodies a unique array of customized original scents created by Big Meech. Indulge yourself in such fragrances as eye candy, foreplay, anticipation, shower fresh, naked beauty, or pay homage to the motherland and choose an oil from our exclusive Wakanda collection. Over 17 different scents that will tantalize your senses. Order yours today. Log on to www.dishingtea.com for more information. Because remember, it's all about the tea. Sensuality, that is.
We're not asking for your permission. We're not seeking your approval. We're claiming what's ours in the name of our ancestors. We are their answered prayers. This is more than a movement. This is a revolution. Black innocence. Order yours today.
The views and opinions expressed here on Dishing Tea TV are strictly those of the hosts and guests of this program. They do not reflect the views and opinions or governing actions of any of the sponsors or affiliates of Dishing Tea Entertainment, Artist First Entertainment, Big Guy ENT, Atlanta Hot Radio, Black GDP TV, or Diversity TV. Your viewing and listening discretion is advised.
All right, and we are back. If you're just tuning in with us, honey, thank you for coming on in and for sharing some time with us, okay? This particular portion of the show I want to pay homage to the transgender community. As I said prior to the commercial break, uh, November 20th is always known, for the last 22 years, has been known as the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And this particular day has been started um, to commemorate the lives of those trans persons that were lost due to violence. Now, when I first started doing this, I added those that we lost that were trailblazers, who were um, fighting the fight with medical insurance and carried on because they were on black market hormones, or because of HIV/AIDS and other serious illnesses that doctors were discriminating against them and would not allow for them to get the medical care that they needed. So I used to name a lot of other names as well, because I felt, and I still feel, that those names ought to be included. However, with this particular journey, we always highlight those girls, particularly, and this year we have both trans men and trans women on the list, that have been um, brutally killed, murdered, um, at the hands of either loved ones or folks who are just out to do bodily harm. Okay. Um, this what I'm finna read to y'all comes from Harper Magazine, Harper's Bazaar, um, and it reads as follows: It's only November, and yet 2020 is the deadliest year on record for the transgender community. Today, November 20th, is Transgender Day of Remembrance. The observations or the observance grew out of the vigil for Rita Hester, a member of the Boston LGBTQ community who worked locally on the education around trans issues and nurtured many of the city's LGBTQ plus youth. She was killed in her home on November 28th, 1998, a few days shy of her 35th birthday. 22 years later, her murder has still not been solved. Wow. On the first anniversary of Hester's death, advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith organized a vigil to commemorate Hester and all transgender people lost to violence since her death. That vigil began the tradition that is Transgender Day of Remembrance. When the Transgender Day of Remembrance first began, trans people were nameless victims in many cases, Smith wrote in a 2014 article for The Advocate. Our killers would do the best to erase our existence from the world, and law enforcement, the media, and others will continue the job. This year, at least 34 transgender or gender nonconforming people have been murdered by violent means in the United States. The number is likely higher. Victims are to this day often misgendered in the local police statements and media reports, which can delay awareness of deadly incidents. The majority of these victims, like Hester, were Black transgender women living in the intersections of racism, homophobia, and transphobia. The gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and HIV-affected hate violence report from the National Coalition of Anti-Violence Programs shows that in 2016, the last year this report was published, 79% of the LGBTQ plus people murdered were people of color. 68% were transgender or gender nonconforming, and 61% were transgender women of color. As you read the list and remember these victims, make a commitment to educate yourself about the issues facing the trans community and learn how you can support their many organizations dedicated to making the world a safer and more welcoming place for our trans family. Being trans in this world shouldn't mean walking through life with a target on your back. The following organizations are fighting for that change: Anti-Violence Protection, a project rather, National Center for Transgender Equality, the Sylvia Rivera Law Project, Trans Women of Color Collective, Trans Justice and the Audre Lorde Act. Let me say that again. Trans Justice at the Audre Lorde Project, Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund, Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. Okay? On this 22nd Transgender Day of Remembrance, we honor the lives lost so far in 2020. Now, wait a minute. Before I start reading these names, I want to do this because I need to set this up. And I should have had this music ready. But let me see. Y'all got comments because I'm reading from the same. Okay. All right, hold on. I want to put some music behind this. Because I just feel the need to just set the tone. And it's crazy. It really is crazy. Okay. However, sometimes I feel that oftentimes we don't take advantage of educating ourselves. I feel that oftentimes that because of our own bias and prejudices and carrying on, that we refuse to allow ourselves to think outside of the box, you know. And it's hurtful at times. It's hurtful. Okay, it's hurtful, and yeah, it, okay. But I'm gonna play this in the background. I'm gonna play that in the background as I call these names. Wait a minute, that's a little too low because I don't even hear it now. This is a live recording with Miss Ross. Okay. This here, okay, let me turn it down just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna start with this name here. Dustin Parker, 25. He was a founding member of his local LGBTQ organization, Oklahomans for Equality, McAllister chapter. His employer, Rover Texie, released a statement remembering Parker as a steadfast friend, an amazing husband and father, and generous to fault. He loved fiercely, worked tirelessly, and took on life with so much hope and enthusiasm that his presence brightened all of our lives. Luciano Ruiz, also known as Alexa, is remembered in her community as humble and noble, according to Metro Puerto Rico. Yampi Mendez Arucho was only 19 years old. He loved to watch the NBA and was a fan of the Miami Heat. Monica Diamond, 34, was an active member of the Charlotte LGBTQ nightlife community. She owned an event promotion company and was the co-CEO of the International Mother of the Year pageantry system, which celebrates LGBTQ mothers. Lexi, 33, loved poetry, makeup, and fashion. According to her friend Lavonia Brooks, I really looked up to her because of her tolerance and respect, Brooks told the New York Daily News. Lexi had a beautiful heart. She was very gifted. Johanna Metzger, that's it. Johanna Metzger from Pennsylvania was a self-taught musician. Penelope Diaz Ramirez, 31, did not deserve to die, said Tori Cooper, director of the Community Entanglement for the Transgender Justice Initiative for Human Rights Campaign. Transgender people do not deserve to die. Every single advocate, ally, elected official, and community member must stand up in light of this horrific news and say no more. We are doing, what we are doing is not enough, she says. Serena Angelique Velasquez Ramos, 32, was visiting a friend, Layla Paliez, 21, who had recently moved to Puerto Rico, according to the New York Times. Paliez says an easygoing young woman who had been raised by her grandmother and was just beginning to explore the world, her cousin Louise Melendez told the Times. Nina Pop, 28, worked at a fast food restaurant and was well known in her area, according to the Missouri's KFVS 12 news station. She was always happy, said friend Emery McCauley. Haley J. O'Regan, 20, was proud of her trans identity. On Trans Day of Visibility in March, she posted on Instagram, "I was looking at the pictures I used to take before I transitioned versus now, and it made me realize I'm way happier than I used to be. I love myself now. Thank you to everyone who's ever supported me, and to anyone who hasn't, I hope you come around. I'm happy and proud to be myself." Damn. Those are her last words. Wow. Tony McDade, 38, was killed by police in Tallahassee, Florida on May 27th. This is the one I talked about him. He died 2 days after George Floyd. McDade's murder 2 days after George Floyd sparked outcry from advocacy groups and became a rallying outcry for the protection of Black trans lives. Jane Thompson, 33, was misgendered in initial reporting, a problem that many victims face. First, it is appalling that it took the media over a month to correctly identify Jane with her correct name and pronouns, said Cooper. Transgender and gender nonconforming people deserve dignity in death as well as life. Secondly, it is clear that Jane was in crisis when she was approached by Colorado State Police. When members of the community need help, the expectation is to protect and serve and not be killed. Selena Reyes Hernandez, 37, was killed in Chicago on May 31st. On Twitter, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot wrote in response to Reyes Hernandez's murder, "We must fight and fight hard to keep our trans community protected and demand their attackers are brought to justice." Dominique Remy Fales was a unique and beautiful soul who I am lucky to have known personally, one friend said, posted online. Raya Milton, 25, loved to travel and be outdoors, her mother, Tracy Milton, told the Cincinnati Enquirer. She just wanted to be accepted for who she was, her mother said. Brian Egypt Powers, 43, loved dancing and cooking and wore long, colorful unicorn braids, according to the Akron Beacon Journal. Brayla Stone, the youngest victim on the list, was just 17 years old. My God. HRC Director Tori Cooper describes Brayla as a child just beginning to live her life, a child of trans experience, a Black girl, a person who had high hopes and dreams, plans, and community. A 19-year-old man was charged with capital murder for her death in September. Mercy Mack, 22. Her friends and family described her as funny, generous, and a beloved auntie to her nieces and nephews. New Trans Movement founder Shannon Walker discussed Mercy's murder to the Morning News, saying, "We're dealing with a generation of men that are just not ready to face the music and just not ready to embrace their sexuality and the experiences and the feeling that they have for trans women of color. And that's just the bottom line." Shaky Peters was 32 when she died in rural Amite City, Louisiana in July. A friend addressed her death in an interview with People, saying, "The saddest part is that we have had a protocol for when our people die. Most people can mourn the dead once they've lost someone, but we actually have to fight for our humanity." Bree Black was 27. What we want some immediate answers to what's going on, and we want this investigation to be done with full integrity. Black Lives Matter's Black Lives Matter protester Tiffany Burke told the Miami Herald. Summer Taylor, 24, loved animals and wanted to attend veterinary school. Summer's parents described them to KUOW, saying, "A burst of creativity, wit, and charm with a heart of empathy." Marilyn Cazars, 22, was described as charismatic, brave, and outspoken by her aunt following her death in mid-July. Tiffany Harris, also known as Dior Ova, died at 32. During the vigil held to celebrate her life, transgender equity consulting founder Cecilia Gentili told the crowd, "We need these men to stick up and show that it's good and it's okay to love a trans woman." Keisha D. Hardy, 22, was a hairstylist whose friends say was loyal, always smiling, and one of a kind. Whew. Aja Raquel Roan Spears, 34, ran her own fashion line and volunteered with children transitioning out of foster care. Her life is gone, her sister Nicola Spears told People. "There's a life gone that's never coming back. It's so unfair, and we just want to see justice done. We want an arrest made and those people held accountable for what they have done." Key Sam was 24. "We mourn Key and will continue to advocate for reforms that will protect trans lives," Cooper said in a statement. "We must all support and protect our trans family and friends. We must always also ensure that hate crime laws and judicial systems hold those who hurt us accountable." Oh Lord, have mercy, child. As I'm reading these names, it's Ariane Burnett died 2 days before her 38th birthday. Ariane was a Barbie, her friend Cora Kelly told KCTV News. "She was a goddess. Can you hear me? Fun. When I say goddess, she was everything. If you wanted to have a good day, you need a smile, Ariane was the person you wanted by your side." Tracy Mia Green died at 29 in Philadelphia. Whew. The city's Office of LGBT Affairs released a statement on her death. "This latest act of violence against a member of our community is a somber reminder of the epidemic of violence against trans individuals. It is a crisis that cannot be allowed to persist any further. The countless painful losses experienced during this year alone, especially within our trans communities of color, reminds us that there's so much work to be done in the pursuit of full equity, respect, and justice for all. We remain committed to ensuring that acts of discrimination, bigotry, and hatred are never tolerated in the city of Philadelphia." My God, today. Okay. Can you stand it? I'm not done yet, honey. I'm just needing to take a break, a breather. Michelin Ramos Vargas, 33, was a nursing student and a bartender. Following her death, LGBTQ activist Pedro Julio Serrano spoke out against the violence plaguing the trans community in Puerto Rico. Trans Puerto Ricans are being hunted enough. Enough of so much hate. Trans people are as human as everyone else and deserve to live in peace, equality, and freedom. Felicia Harris, 33, was an interior designer. Her friend Ricola Collier told WRDW, everybody's going to remember Felicia. That laugh, the smile, the smiles, the talks, the arguments, the attitudes. Everybody is going to remember who Felicia Harris is. Nobody would ever forget who that is. Brooklyn Deshauna Smith, 20, was a cosmetology student. Her murder made 2020 the deadliest year for the trans community since the Human Rights Campaign began monitoring the statistics in 2013. HRC President Alfonso David said in a statement, "Every life has value, and we must utilize this moment to not only remember Brooklyn and each and every one of the people killed this year, but take action and work to dismantle this culture of violence and stigma that the transgender and gender nonconforming community faces. Our community's lives are on the line, and we must commit with every breath to fight for the change we need." Sarah Blackwood, 39, loved My Little Pony, folklore, and video games. She left behind a partner of 8 years who was inconsolable over the loss. Angel Unique, 25, was a cosmetologist from Jackson, Tennessee. Her friend Takia Weddle told the news station Local 24, everybody that knew Angel knew that she was funny, very nice to meet everybody she met. A suspect has yet to be named in this case, and police are asking for any information to be reported to Crime Stoppers Memphis. Whew. All right. And that there are the names of those we've lost this year to violence in our trans community. Okay? Transgender Day of Remembrance, honey. And you may not understand it, you may not agree, okay, or whatever the case may be, but nobody deserves to be killed, dismembered, and having their dignity robbed and stolen from them, having their integrity smudged because of violence, because of hate, because of not understanding, not wanting to understand. And that's fine if you don't want to understand it, but you have to accept it as a part of what's going on in our world today. Let me go to some of these comments. Rhoda came up in here. Hey, Rhoda. Child, sorry to hear that the people are still being killed because of their differences. Rest in peace and God bless. Thanks, Charles. That's my God today. Child, say it, okay? My God. I know, child, I know. And I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but what do you do? My condolences to all of them. Rest in peace. And here, before I'm going to say this, because oftentimes it is said that, oh, well, y'all out there tricking them and this, that, and the other. And I'm going to tell y'all, honey, 99% of the time, that ain't the deal. Okay? That's not the deal. Especially for those who are sex workers and carrying on. Listen, you know the whole stroll. And you know where to go to get whatever it is that you want. All right?
Okay.
And most of the time, the children know what they're up against. They know it.
Hold on.
Your volume is low. Wait a minute, maybe me. No, that's me. Talk.
Right. I'm like, hold on. Okay. First and foremost, people go fishing for what they're looking for.
Hello.
Now, you and I both know, and anybody who ever doggone had one
class in their life of anything to do with, hey, Fraser, what's up? If one class in their life has anything to do with geography or aquatics or anything, when we seek to eat fish, right? What do? We throw bait in the water.
Bait. Mm-hmm. That's right.
And we expect the bait to catch on to what we're looking for.
Right.
But within this same water, just like on this planet, when you're on dirt, it takes a nation of millions in order to operate in this world. All different types. So when you throw your rod and your reel out in that water, there's not just one kind of fish out there.
Hey.
Because some of those fish are mammals. And the majority of the mammals in the ocean are males. But they swim around like the other fish. But they in that same area that you're shopping in for something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you reach out there into the water and you're doggone salivating for that appetite you got, tell somebody else that you don't know what the fuck you're looking for. You know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a person in this world that ain't never made a grocery list, even just 3 items.
Listen.
You know what the fuck you walking in the store looking for.
Okay.
I just say people kill me with that because, all right, Amy, good seeing you. But what people kill me with that because, like I told you before about the incident of the guys that was with the prostitute in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you pick this trans prostitute up. You go to the room, and y'all gonna take turns with this trans prostitute. So, okay, in this person's mind, this is what they out to do. They're hustling their body, and they feel like they got to come up. They got 2 or 3 customers, 1 room, they winning.
Right.
I want to know. What I want to know is how did the first 2 gentlemen complete their mission before the 3rd guy got in there and the mission doggone failed. This is the part where I say they knew what they were shopping for and they knew what they picked up.
Listen, I back home, and I think I've told the story before. Working security, 6 Mile in Woodward is known as one of the strips, okay? 8 Mile in Woodward is where females are.
Right.
6 in Woodward are where the girls are, okay? Everybody knows that, supposedly, okay?
It would take a person that's, I say this all the time, the only person I give mistakes and accidentals to is people who are there on business trips that are not from there. They're not there. You at a hotel and you sitting there and now you're getting restless and now you go out there and you turn down the wrong block. I get that.
That's why I say only 1% of the time where they folks say they don't know.
Right.
Okay.
This can happen. I get that.
Okay.
But not if your ass went from graduated high school in that damn town. You know what the hell is going on.
Exactly. And back home, and then too, the girls would work there because Palmer Park is our Piedmont Park, okay? And right there was a gay side of Palmer Park, and hell, all of the apartment buildings and stuff, that was a gay area, similar to how the Village is in New York, okay? Or Boys Town in Chicago, okay? Everybody got that set, or Midtown here in Atlanta, okay? Everybody got
Everybody
that
got
section
Boys Town is over
where,
there. You know to go if you go to the north side of Chicago at night, you know what you're
right,
looking for.
you know what you're looking for. So there's very little times where you go down there and you claim you don't know what you're getting. Okay. There's very little time. Okay. And there have been moments where the guys go down there claiming that, and a lot of girls end up getting jumped. You know, a couple girls that got ran over. You know, trying to jump out the car to save themselves and carrying on. A lot of times, what ends up happening is you get folks who want to do it, but then after it's done, it's the guilt that they're feeling because they did it. You know, they're ashamed of themselves and not wanting to deal with their own sexuality. What does this mean? You know, all that shit. And it's guilt. You
I'm
know,
sorry. I'm sorry.
but
I got a sadistic mind when it comes to people arguing with themselves about something they did.
yeah,
I just, my mind is real twisted when it comes to that. Like, well, what you gonna do? Knock yourself the fuck out? Okay, you done did it, bro.
well, and because they can't, they end up jumping on the girl, and that's exactly. See, you're right there. Because they won't do it to themselves, they jump on the girl and make it her fault. You know what I'm saying? Now, one of the things, and see, this is what I learned doing my shows, because
Right.
like I told you, Samantha gets a whole different caliber of men that Demetrius gets.
Right.
Whole different caliber. Okay. And most of the time, the men that Samantha grabs are bottoms.
See,
Okay. So when we're
but
dealing with that on
but
the
that's what I'm
street and
talking
carrying
about.
on,
A heterosexual man, gets to put in a position like that, right? He got
right,
them he picked up a situation. He played top. Okay.
right.
Now he done topping. Now he feeling
Right.
crazy. But my thing is this: why hurt the person that doggone you pay for a service?
Because the
Why?
feeling, and see, all of that is up in here because
You
it's
can't,
not
like I said, you
supposed to be.
can't beat yourself up. If you
Right.
run to a Catholic church to confess, you subject to end up being the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You just can't.
Now, because this is a business transaction, you're gonna get what you pay for out of it. Okay.
Hey,
So if you came up in there wanting one
yeah,
thing
folks.
and got that, you're gonna get what you pay for. Okay. And that's what
My
ends up
my
happening.
famous words at the club meet. That's why I be by myself all the time in my famous clubs. I've even said this to Smack. We leaving out doing everything. He'll go,
Mhm.
you know, all these after hours things going on, and he'll be like, "Oh, Red, what you finna do? Where you finna roll this? What?" I turn around and say, "Jimmy, go home.
Right.
Go
Right.
home." And I get in my
Right.
car and I take my black ass home.
Right. But that's that young shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I let me not get on him, honey. I ain't gonna get on him. That's a married man. Let me go
You
to
don't
these
want
comments.
to get on him. Or maybe you want to get on him.
Man, you know, Matt know he got your goddamn titties at his shit. You know, I can spot him in the Million Man Mars tattoo. I can spot that motherfucker in the Million Man Mars tattoo. Smack him walking across with your goddamn titties. I'm like, woo! Get away from me, heterosexual you, buddy.
You
Okay.
so stupid.
Okay. Here we go. Haji said, why aren't the Black transgender community using their platform to keep those investigations going? When whites had this problem, they went straight to the police and demanded someone address this. Because, darling, whenever we try to do all that, it always gets shot down. And then folks who believe that, especially for those, see, the white girls are not out there on the stroll like that. Let's get that. Let's make that a point. See, there's cultural differences here. The white girls, they are into sex work, but a lot of them are call girls. Okay, and
For
they
the
get all
cult.
their back page girls and this, that, and the other, get all the different little shits. So they do it, but it's done differently. The girls who are on the street, a lot of the black girls will work the stroll.
And I
Police
used to
ain't coming
tell
for that.
people, what you said, what you just said, that back page stuff. I used to tell
Yeah,
people that you go search it on back page, it's gonna be a nigga at your door.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go into something, it's gonna be a nigga at your door, and they're not gonna play with you because you don't waste
And you
their
know what?
time.
Let me get a little history about this. Well, a little piece of education, because back in the day, this is why T.S. Madison calls herself T.S. Madison. Because back in the day, when they was running the ads of carrying on, the TS is stand for transsexual, so that you know that you are getting a trans person.
Right.
Okay, and so now that she's gotten out of the sex business, because somebody asked her, why don't she just drop the TS? She said, honey, no, 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 honey, no, no. She said, I would like you to turn it, because that was my name. Okay, I earned that name. The hell I went to beat T.S. Madison. No, I've earned that. I'm not dropping that, and this, that, and the other. But a lot of times, why you see TS this and TS that, it was so that you know what you was getting right off the bat, right off the rip. Okay, and a lot of times, a lot of the girls who were well endowed, they were the ones who got paid. Okay, they got paid. Okay, and especially if they were real pretty, if they were, if they're passable and carrying on, the more passable that a girl was, and she had a big old dick, child by she please, okay, that's how they were making their money because remember, it's a little different now because trans children are able to go mainstream and to get jobs, and we see them on television and acting gigs. As a matter of fact, the new Saved by the Bell that's about to come on. They're rebooting Saved by the Bell. They got a new transgender actress in that. I just found that out today. Okay. So so we're able to see them, and it's becoming more and more a part of, okay, this is what this is. But back in the day, the girls couldn't work. The girls couldn't work. I would never forget when I first moved down here. Uh oh, should I call her name? I ain't gonna call her name. But you know her. Um, I walked into Walmart, okay, and she's a beautiful girl, honey. Oh, she's tall, she's statues, this bitch is stunning. And I knew, I clocked her, of course. Okay. And I went to her and I said, bitch, you mainstream like this? She said, and I just, work. You in motherfucking Walmart, bitch. You know, and I'm like, okay, cool. So this is, it has become now where the girls can be taken a little bit more seriously. They have a little bit more equity in mainstream culture, because before, when the stigma was they just sex workers, then no, it's like you get what you get, you know, which is and just a little bit of education. This is why, like, to call somebody a tranny now, because tranny was a word that was used. It was a sex, when you talk about sex work and carrying on. If you call them she-males, or if you call them trannies or chicks with dicks, that was, those are now derogatory words now, or terms, because that's what this is. Okay,
You
but
see that?
yeah, I'm finna come to that in a second. Hold on, because I want to go back up into these comments, because oh my God, wow, this is heavy on my heart. This cuts deep. It made me tear up. Nobody deserves. The list goes on. It's been there. It's been that two more recent transgender female have been murdered. Two more recently. Four total. Here. Okay, right. And she said this is stuff that's not even on the news or whatever. Okay. Those murders aren't about hate, about what you can get away with, and if the trans community gonna keep their secret. Okay, I'll give you that. But I'll give you that. And then at the same time, I'm gonna call it hate because oftentimes that's self-hatred. It's not necessarily hate against the girl, it's self-hatred, and it becomes some of it was crimes of passion, like the Riaz girl. That was a crime of passion. She knew that boy. Okay. And he left, he killed, wait a minute. He killed her, left, and came back and shot her like 7 more times to make sure she was dead. You wasn't killing her. Whatever that was, you killing something. Okay, working in the adult industry, transgenders are gonna have to stop supporting promoters, clubs that put them in the LGBT grab bags, and not in any protection. Plus, there needs to be survival etiquette. Now understand it, but it's a little bit more than just the adult industry, because here's the thing. This is why we now have this surge of trans leadership and carrying on, because the trans community have been lumped into the gay community because this is where their acceptance is. Everybody don't want them to be trans; they want them to be gay men. Okay, and there's a difference in that. And so in the beginning of all that, that's why a lot of the girls I know, like, let me go back to when I was younger, because there were girls who we called them the weekend girls, because they had to be their birth selves at work. Okay. But they were trans all day, but they couldn't do that at work. And oh my God, Miss Tiffany, she dead and gone now. Tiffany Jackson. That was a big girl, honey. Okay. That was a big girl. But she couldn't go to work as Tiffany. Okay, because she worked at a car manufacturing place. She couldn't go in as Tiffany. She had to go in as Tim. Was that her name? I think that was her name. I'm gonna use that as a name. Okay.
But I told you I had a customer like that, right? And I went to the little show, like the lips thing we did. I went to the show, and they had a big show and stuff at this place called C Street, and it was cool and everything. And it was, everybody had only they did characters at the show, so everybody was somebody.
Right.
And this motherfucker came to my table after the show in full drag and was like, now I was with my ex-wife, and then when we were sitting there, we decided to go to the show. We saw it come up on the TV, so we got up and went.
Mm-hmm.
Came to my table. We sitting there drinking Coronas, and literally just walked up to me and said, "Hey, Big Red, how'd you like the show?" I nutted up. I said, "Hold on, motherfucker. Well, you don't know me." I was like, I said, "Hold the fuck up."
Right.
And he was like, "Stop playing." Blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at this motherfucker, and I'm looking at my ex like, yo, this motherfucker don't know me. It's somebody fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
He stopped and goes, "It's Darius. Stage name Desiree."
Mm-hmm.
It's Darius. I'm looking like, I don't know, motherfucker. He's like, Darius, the mechanic with the hot rod, the racing car. And I looked. I said, "Yo."
Right.
Well, hold on. I'm like, "Hold on, nigga. You building motherfucking NASCAR motors and goddamn now you motherfucker stand up here dance." I was like, he was like, "Hell yeah." He said, "I travel and everything." He said, I'm like, "Okay, great show."
before you leave, come see me because I'm confused. You got to sit down at this table and have a drink.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but it was cool when he sat down and explained and broke it down to me. And I believe that was my time. You know what I'm saying? That was my time where it kind of broke that last mold, that line between me and the alphabet world.
Uh-huh.
And I used to go in that particular spot where that show was at just to sell my drugs.
Okay.
Yeah,
the girls will do a bump, honey.
Oh, because you'll run out up in there.
The girls will do a bump, baby. Oh, Lord.
Whenever you go in, you come out with nothing. So I know that. So like, but it's just weird though. That I think that was the line that made me go, okay, all right, I get it. And you know what I'm saying? Besides the fact I had Anthony working for me, that was 100% strictly diggly, but I had a son. So I learned a lot from the people that was around me. And it come to find out, like, okay, he was a man enough to raise his son and have him on the weekends, and he out playing football and all that and everything. But on his regular life, when his son not there, he just as flamboyant and flaming as he want to be.
Well, you know what? Now let's take that because see, I'm gonna bring my sister Flame up in here because see, this is what Flame talks about when she started having her children. Okay, she made it a point to make sure that she stopped living her life 100% as a girl. Now she already had her breast augmentation and her work, the work that she had done. Okay, so her children knew her, you know, body wise, you know, as the way that she is. But she says that she did not want to have her children ridiculed, especially her son. Okay, she said, because I never wanted to lose the respect of my son. So when she had, you know, that was a conscious decision that she made, and she was cool with it. It wasn't like she was trying to hide herself or try to downplay her trans, you know, and this, that, and other. And yes, those are her biological children, honey. You know, she talks about that all the time. Okay, so she didn't downplay herself. She just said that I'm going to do this for my children. You know, so that they can have a better life.
That gives them a choice in life. You know what I'm saying? One thing I don't like, whether you the macho dad out here going, oh nigga, you better not, don't cry, you better suck it up, blah 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 blah, and all that, or you the doggone flaming guy that's raising your kids, and you got doggone trying to teach them how to do. I don't think you should subdue them to teaching them how to do nails and putting on heels. Just like I don't think you should doggone be telling them men don't cry.
Listen, if I'm not gonna do that with my daughters, okay, because there's age appropriateness, honey. You don't put no goddamn lipstick on in my house until you're 16, and it's gonna be gloss. It ain't a motherfucking lipstick. Okay, yes, girl.
I got two statements, but
go.
Number one, with some of these girls getting killed out there, and we have told them at work, you always have somebody to know what you're doing, where you're going, and do a team group. They're not doing it. They're fooling these men. Some of these men may know that I misrespect man. I can't call his name. He knows what's down in between my legs, and he enjoys it lovely. But do not out him when he's with his motherfucking wife.
Now that right there, okay, that's right there.
Those my HIV status. Now I'm very open about it. I've been had it over 25 years. I let him know, and he stopped me driving by, followed me to Home Depot, and I had to go buy some locks. And we've been talking over 5 years. I just got reconnected with him. But these girls are not in, and when you find out, they come back and shoot and cut their ass up. One was one of our clients here, moved to New York, and she was told by my daughter, there's a way you can't play with men like this. Tell me your status and what you're doing and what you're not doing. But unfortunately, she got chopped and got killed up there. Now, with the kids thing, you know, I have kids of my own. They call me mama and daddy. I never had to downplay myself or change because they knew what I was doing, what I was doing, how I was doing it. Not but they knew the lifestyle that I was in, and I wasn't going to change. My kids was born in the midst of me making transition. But some of these, they take it for granted. We got two, got all the way done. Breast augmentation, hip break thing, and coochie done. Now they have went and got all this stuff removed, and they're on the deathbed now because once your body, they don't shut you down. But when you go back and remove it out, it makes it one energy. But all the way to full as a man, straight in the beginning, but then all the men and his daughter said not a separate pay until October. So on his only child, be disrespectful. And he raised his child to not be disrespectful, but some of these parents are allowed these kids to do what they want to. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling myself, ain't no motherfucking free on this, but they were on the side of it. There's a lot of parents around it.
That's a different story.
You
That's
know, let me say this, that is someone here, they got to think towards the kids. They were trying to do it in the beginning, but back when they done it, because so many people were complaining about the kids being trans. They was not in agreement with it. They left it alone. They got one of the big time niggas return for this film just over the children's network,
right.
and she's coaching not because she's better than trans, but she's trying to get down to the root of it because yeah, you talk about he's all way wrong. I'm 40, about to be 46. This is just make like my big jet because that's why my little friend is secret in my little corner. You do not take me to no transgender group. Every girl and get this phone number, you're gonna be fucking every girl around and around.
That's why they call trade, honey. That's why they call trade.
And it's not the boys that get mad. It's the girls that get mad. They fight on them. Watch it for the there's 1, 2, 3, maybe 5, 6 are transgender females. Now I got to see right in this that has been person, but you don't learn them behind the
Right.
You know who Jolene is?
Jolene. Said the song.
No, Jolene.
Jolene.
The dancer.
I learned that in prison.
The dancer.
Jolene is a stripper in Vegas.
Oh, well, I don't know her.
But somebody said something about club.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was only one club here in Georgia.
But works in her place.
Allowed the trans women to come in there and be themselves. The white club didn't want us in. You remember the club that got bombed many years ago? I think this was before you.
Yeah.
Somewhere over.
You look up JOLENE. Yeah, JOLENE Vegas stripper.
And
okay.
Then he just said Vegas stripper. A lot of these girls at the Marquette, went to the Marquette, used to put out fun. Maybe they were on the walls, get screen, right? It was supposed to be tough. And they was just giving. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And he talking about selling his drugs. I know he ain't lying. But I don't hear 2, 3, 4, 5. And still got it when I did. Get about 4 months. And this was these younger girls from the age of.
Oh, you just said all this. Okay.
15, 21 years old. I said, going to pulling trade, but you cannot fool them. They pull trade out your app. I told them on the app. It's a dating app on Facebook. Yeah. I said, baby, I'm transgender. My sister said this. You can play or don't. I went and played with them in an open area. And when you play, see the biggest thing, I let the what I was going to say for, and I let the front desk management know. I don't come back down in 20 minutes, or you call my phone, and I don't, or you up. See, I can leave this house every day with makeup on and no makeup, and still pass a woman. I look just like her mom. She said, "Oh my God,
Okay. No, somebody put up in here that he just found out 2 more family members have contracted COVID. Look, he's calling me. Oh wait a minute, I'm on the line, baby. Hold on. So this year, I was just about to read. You just said everything I was about to read. I was going to read your statement, Miss Thing. The big one, the long one that you just said everything. No, I'm not. You just said it. Yeah. Anywho, a lot of all of this that we deal with in this community, the violence and carried on that is perpetrated on this community. You know, some of it the girls got to take it that they have to they got to take be accountable for it because not all the 99% of the time they're not fooling anybody, but there's still that 1%. And those girls are the ones that give the name or the narrative. Oh, y'all out there fooling folks, and y'all doing this, y'all doing that. Okay. As Haji was saying, it's not always about hate. No, it's not about hating them per se. It's more so internalized hate. Because now that they done did the do or whatever, now you upset or you mad or you guilty, so it becomes all of that. But we do have to
Man,
understand, huh?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
What we have to come into is understanding and understanding, understanding, overstanding is that particularly our community as Black folks, we've got to do better with how we treat each other, how we accept differences and carrying on. But one of the things I am going to say is this. I am tired of the trans community, and yeah, I'm going to say it like this. I'm tired of the trans community making it seem as though that it's only Black men who killing you. Okay, but yeah, we know that. But the narrative is, or what has become the thing, is that Black men are Black men this, and Black men this, and Black men this, and Black men this. And what is happening is that we start to echo the same sentiments of Black women who are hurt, Black women who feel as though they ain't got no good man. How'd you like to call it the single woman syndrome, honey? Or single mother syndrome, rather. You know, that he feels that a lot of gay men and trans women are carrying on, mimic the behaviors of single mothers who looking for a man. And in some instances, I buy into that. I support that argument because I can hear it. And in this particular instance, when it comes down to these murders, yes, we all have to make sure everybody's held accountable. We all have to make sure that these cold cases are closed. You know, we have to stay on them. We have to advocate to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And now that we got the technology of camera systems and carrying on and blah, 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 girls, it's the same thing, honey. It's the same thing. If you leave the bar with somebody, okay, this is what this is. If you work in the stroll, bitch, and you on the corner with one of the girls, somebody needs to learn how to memorize license plate numbers. Okay? So that y'all can have a check and balance system or something. Somewhere this has to go down somewhere to where you guys learn. Y'all know how to survive, but I don't think what you don't do is have each other's back for the most part. But I have seen when they have, because they were about to, it was crazy. It's crazy. But that there is that on our Transgender Day of Remembrance. If you're not familiar with trans girls or whatever, or if your only introduction to the world is watching RuPaul Drag Race, or when you was watching Star, Amaya Black, Amaya Scott, or whatever the new little shows are when you have trans children on there. Did y'all see the trans man on Greenleaf? Okay.
Holiday Heart.
Okay, even Holiday Heart. How about that? Okay. Now Holiday was just a drag queen, but Blue was transgender, honey.
Right.
Blue was Blue was a trans, and she changed her life because she got a white boy, honey.
Yes, she
Okay,
did.
horrible. But she was a trans woman. But nonetheless, you know, if that's your only introduction to it, I'm going to suggest that you guys sit down and go and research it. You know, there's a number of documentaries on. There's one that's on Netflix with Laverne Cox. I can't think of the name of it right now. But it's the research department. Find that out. The Laverne Cox trans documentary on Netflix. Let's see if we get the name of it. There's a number of things that you can educate yourselves about what this is. Now, you don't have to agree with it. I'm not telling you to agree or asking you to agree, because if that's not your thing and you just can't get with it, okay, that's fine. But I'm asking you to educate yourself so that we can go through this life and learn how to accept it better. So that when these kinds of cases hit the airway or whatever, it's not seen through rose-colored glasses or through a lens that is prejudicial or judgmental. Because a lot of y'all who got that Christian card on you, and you got your little collars on, honey, and your Christian and your church fan, side-eyeing everybody, honey. Yeah, y'all the main ones that want to sit down there and do X, Y, and Z. Okay. And for all of y'all, I'm gonna say go research Queen Candace, honey. We'll talk about Candace, honey, because Candace was transgender. How about that? Anyway, I ain't gonna go off. That be that. So now I'm gonna take a slight commercial because I need to refresh and I need to go pee. When I come back, we're gonna get into something red. This is gonna be you. And the moral of the story is, okay.
Oh yeah.
And the moral of the story, I want to get into talking about in this day and age where everybody is okay, right? Okay. In this day and age, because the world just seems to be so fucking sensitive, comedians just don't seem to get a fair break. Okay, they just don't. They and it just seems as though we can't have fun anymore, or you know, folks want to punish you for shit that happened a long time ago or whatever.
They want you to be apologetic for exercising your craft, and I think that's bullshit in a Fifth Amendment country.
How about that? Okay, so press pause. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back, y'all. Ha ha ha. We're not asking for your permission. We're not seeking your approval. We're claiming what's ours in the name of our ancestors. We are their answered prayers. This is more than a movement. This is a revolution. Black innocence. What are yours today? All right, and we are back. Oh, wait, look who that came up in here. Okay. Hey, gal.
Hey, I'm on mute for a couple more seconds, but I'm in here.
Yeah. Your head must be nappy.
Okay.
Oh, that's the goddamn truth. You know that right there. This shit is staying all over my goddamn head. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Oh, okay.
Cartoon Nicky we talking to.
Yes, God.
Well, let's get into it because see, I want to talk. I yesterday on yesterday's show, we got to talking, and we got to talk about the moral of the story is okay. Mm-hmm. And hold on, before let me play this joke. Let's set this up so we can get a little funny up in here.
And you know, I ain't trying to call. I don't be trying to call nobody ugly or no shit like that, cause I'm not the judge of who ugly. I just know sometimes this motherfucker you can't look at a long time. You know? God damn, he got some full facial features on. Joke number 7. See how smart my crowd is. All right. It was this lawyer, right? He made money off of people because they didn't know shit, and that's what lawyers do. Because shit you don't know, they make money off of it. He like to goddamn gamble with what he know. He like to bet people shit, you know what I'm saying? He was going to a lawyer conference up in New York. He got on a private plane, you know what I'm saying? They flying for 4 hours. But when he got to his seat, there was an old man in the seat, in the other seat, leaned up against the mirror. Leaned up against the window. He was asleep. So the lawyer said, man, shit, gonna make me some money out of this old ass man. So he woke the old man up. He said, hey, bro, he said, look, man, you know, I would like to talk to you, but I'm tired. I just want to rest until I get to my destination. He said, man, it's 4 hours. Look, you want to make some money? He said, yeah, I want to make some money. Well, what I got to do? We're on a plane. He said, look, all you got to do is if I ask you a question and you can't answer it, you give me $5. He said, man, ain't no goddamn good game. He said, how am I going to make money off of that shit? He said, oh, I meant to tell you, you can ask me a question. And if I can't answer your question, I will give you $500. He said, well, hell, okay. That's good odds right there. So the lawyer said, I will go first. He said, do I have to separate you two? Make y'all stand up and tell the class what the fuck y'all talking about over? Okay. Now you gonna be quizzed on what I tell you. Your ass gonna get an F in here now. All right. Now the lawyer said, I'll go first. He said, what's the distance from the earth to the sun? The old man said, damn, I know that. Shit, he thought about it, but he got it wrong. He knew the distance from the earth to the moon. He didn't know the distance from the earth to the sun. So, shit, he reached in his pocket and gave the man $5. So the lawyer said, all right, your turn. Now ask me a question. The old man thought about it because he knew the motherfucker was smart. So he said, shit, okay. He said, oh, okay, I got it. He said, what has 3 legs walking up the hill and 4 legs coming down? The man said, what the fuck? He said, what has 3 legs going up the hill and 4 legs coming down? So the guy thought about it. Shit, he Googled it. He phoned a friend. He asked the waitress, the stewardess, and she didn't know, man. He was mad as a motherfucker. I'm telling you, he thought for 30 goddamn minutes. The old man back asleep again, man. So he woke the old man up and gave him $500. The old man counted the $500 and said, thank you, brother. Put it in his pocket and went back to sleep. Now, this was killing him, because the old man still didn't tell him what had 3 legs going up the hill and 4 legs coming down. Oh, he was eating his ass up. About an hour and a half later, he shook that old man, hey, bro. Hey, wake the fuck up, man. He said, what, man? What happened? He said, look, you got my $500. At least tell me what has 3 legs going up the hill and 4 legs coming down. The old man said, what? He said, you heard me, man. What has 3 legs going up the hill and 4 legs coming down? The old man scratched his head, reached in his pocket and gave him $5. Now the moral of this story is quit playing so damn well. Hey, look, I'm Tyler Craig. Thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all be easy.
All right.
Y'all play too damn much.
Hey, Nikki, the moral of the story is calm your head before the show.
Okay.
Listen, y'all grandniece done wore me the fuck out in here today. Okay? Look, she's still making noise. She woke. She took melatonin and she still woke.
Look at cartoon face. Hold on. Look. I came up with this thing right here because we was talking about how the comedians was doggone, they was pressed to go back and apologize, like Eddie Murphy and all them, for talking about the alphabet kids and all the different people that came.
Right.
So it was all about, I guess, being derogatory, right? But people forget that comedy doggone was milled. It was milled and it was doggone birthed from people sitting around socially playing the dozen. The dozen went from a circle of family and friends to this doggone thing, to the whole stage, and that's what made where you didn't have to have on blackface and all that. You stood up there dressed kind of nice and you doggone told jokes like he was doing.
Right.
And then you was able to people that say something wrong to you, you can snap on their ass in the crowd, and that made a show. So what I said for this,
why everybody so sensitive anyway? Back in the day, the most comedians talked about everybody.
We got a sensitivity thing that I said, well, how about we play a little small round of the dozen at this moment?
Oh, I'm not good at that.
I know nobody's really good at it. It's a feed. So what I did was I invited some people to the audience.
Oh Lord.
There was pride is pride. So I said,
but y'all remember though, Red, though, remember when the comedians back in the day, like Eddie Murphy and all of them, not only did they talked about everybody. Everybody. Nobody was off limits.
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like simple stuff like, Nikki, your hair is so nappy that we talking to an animated figure right now. You know what I'm saying?
And right now, you would be the fuck right. Like, I don't naturally have nappy hair, but my hair is standing all over top of my goddamn head. It's not really nappy, but it is fucked up. So I can't be mad. What am I be mad about? My hair is standing all over top of my head. So therefore, my avatar is up here. Whatever.
Right. Or you can run your mama jokes, or you can run, your mama jokes is what the real deal is.
Let me tell you something. When I was pregnant with Molly, I was on bed rest, right? And one of my little brothers, Nico, and my son, Timmy, the oldest one, Genesis. We used to watch that. Mitch, remember when Lifetime was everybody's mother's favorite shit?
Yes.
When I was pregnant, it was like 1997. So my mom, on Sundays, Lifetime was shit. Timmy and Nico would literally, to entertain me, while me and my mom watching the movie, they sitting there thinking of your mama jokes. And when the fucking commercial come on, them niggas letting it rip. I still remember the one that my son, he said it the first time, and we still been falling out to this damn day. I think Tim was about 11, 12. And he said, your mama got struck by lightning and ran outside talking about, I got the power. Swear to God. Let me tell you something.
Hold on. Because I'm like, okay, like Diamond sitting here, right?
You left me.
Diamond can, like, okay, Diamond, your mama's so lame.
Goddamn power.
That watching paint dry is exciting.
Wait. Was that it, Cole?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry.
Well, I just say, Nick, your mama's so slow. She thought birth control came with buttons and batteries.
I fucking hate you. And see, that was the thing too. Because back in the day, even if everybody was doing your mama jokes, you could still laugh at the one that was at you, at somebody else, and everything else. Everybody wasn't tripping. Huh? Welcome. Like it just seemed like everybody's sensitive. What's the Red? You know the guy? He's a comedian from Philly, but he's handicapped. He's a light-skinned brother. He used to be on BET. He used to be on Comic View a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
If he could get up there and talk about his own fucking self.
Yeah, he get up there as a handicapped dude. He gets up there and he talk about himself. And boy, when I say he kills it,
every time. And everybody else. Because it was a lot of them comedians back in the day said, don't say nothing about handicapped people. He said, at the comedy show, ain't nobody off limits because I'm talking about myself, your mama, his daddy. But nobody's really being malice.
Nicky, I got a friend, his name Antoine Swain. He was one of my supporters when I had my comedy show on the North Side. And he comes to the club. When I was cracking jokes, he comes to the club. Every time he comes in there, he want to be the doggone heckler in the crowd. And one time I just hit him with a doggone, I had the spotlight hit him. I said, yo, put the light on this guy over here. I said, I want y'all to doggone see y'all making history right here. This is the only guy in the history of nightclubs that got arrested for walking under the tables.
I hate you.
And everybody in that motherfucker fell out laughing. And I said, why don't you jump down off the bar stool and let us know, you know what I'm saying, how you feel about what I just said.
We had a friend that's a comedian too, right? And we would always go, we support each other. We go to this club, right? He's doing his stuff. Not as his friends. We in the front. Y'all too. Y'all my brothers. Y'all know. Unless I got to pee I got to be about to die having to pee before I use a public restroom, right?
Right.
I had to pee so bad. And I'm like, I cannot get the fuck up.
Right.
Y'all know how big my ass is. We had a comedy show. But I couldn't hold it. I had to get up. And he said, his name is Beefy Funny. If he listen, he remember. He said, I know you did not just get that little teeny ass waist and that ass that could cover up this whole goddamn room and walk while I'm in here talking, doing my set. So you already know what's about to happen. And it's like, what am I gonna do? You want to talk about my ass? I knew you were going to talk about my ass.
Right.
So that's the first fucking thing you say. And people get mad. Like, you get mad if you do something at a comedy show that's not etiquette, you're going to get called on. It's just the thing. And it's like, what the fuck you mad at?
You got to. I always say nothing more funny than the truth. And when I say so, I'll announce my subject. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, I'll be like, all right, marriage. I said, by round of applause, how many happily married couples in here? And I said, wait a minute, fuck it. How many people just married? Because,
right. Okay.
So, that would break the ice on the marriage. But then I would turn around and be like, who knows who here says they got the wife at home that's totally supportive of everything of what you got going on. And they go to raise their hand. I said, not the bitch that just hang your clothes up. That's supporting your t-shirts. I'm talking about the one that's got them actually.
Lord,
I ain't with you. Mm-mm. I used to
Yeah,
hang around comedians and carrying on. My girlfriend Caroline, she was dating a comedian, and then she's funny as hell. I need for her to believe in herself, to get out there, to get on the stage. She's graced it, but she needs to get up there. You know,
Mhm.
for me, I'm an actor. I don't think that I'm a comedian, although everybody keep telling me I'm funny and this, that, and the other. I say, well, funny, what do you mean by funny, fool? Because see, y'all just sit up there talking about I'm funny and
Because
want
it's a
to
difference. There's a
do one of
whole
them little
difference.
shit.
Because if somebody say, "Oh, you acting funny," no, bitch, what the fuck you talking about?
no, but Meech, I think you're funny.
Hmm.
I think you naturally funny, Beach.
Yeah, you're naturally funny.
Yeah, I was born that way.
That's what Carl Bean said.
Right.
Hey,
Exactly.
Meech,
From a little bitty
Meech,
boy. Okay, and
Meech,
girl,
we
no,
can talk
no.
about
But I'm gonna tell you what you are. You're the host of the show and the program funny.
yeah. You can keep
Okay,
it. You can keep it moving. You keep it
Yeah,
going.
you are what I call MC funny, master of ceremony.
okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty much because that's what I see in you. You'll keep it going. You'll crack about the last person, and dog gonna bring the other one on with a bang. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And that right there is what keeps the flow of the dog on actual the craft. That's
Right.
what keeps it alive. And it's just crazy. People don't understand the world we in, and it's hard to even explain
With
it.
all the fucked up shit that's going on, people should want to laugh.
I've
Right.
always believed in the formula that I don't care how heinous a situation is. If you can find the comedy in it and can run a joke, it's healing in it. Now there are
Yeah.
times where it may be a little too early.
I was going to say there are times when it's too soon.
Okay. Might be a little too soon, but it's still funny. Okay.
Right.
See,
And
you ever heard the I forgot who did the skit. It was two hoes in church.
Two holes in church.
Two hoes in
There's a
church.
lot more than that in church.
No, but I'm saying it's a number two. It's a number two. It's hoes, a letter N, and it said church.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
it's two
okay.
hoes in church, and they having a conversation. And what it is, they swinging the camera over the different things that go on in church. And they swing it over, and it says the lady was having catching the Holy Ghost and everything right there, right? And all of a sudden she say, "Bitch, look. I was with Laquan the other night, and he had a bitch orgasm just like that. Who touched her?"
uh-uh.
Then it was like, no, bitch. I got up the other morning, and shit, I'm starting to think that Ronaldo was with her, and she was like, "Who?" And they turned the camera, and there's a lady up there going,
Oh, stop.
I forgot y'all can't see me. I'm
So-
Ah. I
ignorant.
ain't.
Fucker.
I ain't. You understand?
Ignorant.
I'm just
I
saying,
ain't.
it's crazy. They was like, they said, "Are we gonna go up there and what is that? We're gonna go up there and put something in the plate." And she was like, "Bitch, I got $2. I gotta put something on my plate."
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
How about that?
This shit funny because it's a full blown conversation, but they keep swinging the view. Somebody editing different things that go on
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
church. They really not there at the church, but it's like I was like,
but it's
Right.
like they filming it like they did.
yeah.
That's cute. But here is in dealing with this and understanding the world that we live in, you know, and trying to bring about some kind of healing, some kind of just an escape from the mundane or from just life itself. Oftentimes, those who are comedians and stuff, we need that outlet. Every now and again, like when we talk about certain movies or whatever, there are sometimes Baps got a lot of heat. but BAPS was needed, honey, because
I love bats. I don't give a shit.
you know BAPS was needed. What's the other one? Get high.
Oh, ha ha.
Okay,
You
okay,
talking about with Method Man and Redman?
yeah,
I love
okay.
that shit too.
A dumbass movie, but it was needed because it was something that took you away
Yeah,
from
and Half Baked. Remember Half Baked? Half Baked was my shit.
yeah.
Dave Chappelle the fucking fool. I love him.
You know, now
Yeah,
oftentimes, you know, we could debate about the quality of it, you know, how the
Right.
production of it or whatever.
Right.
But
But the shit in it.
But part of the funny in it is the weak production.
yeah,
Right.
okay, right.
Because it's like we
Right.
gonna throw this shit together
Right.
and they gonna laugh because the
Right.
shit's funny. It's stupid.
Right.
And
Because we all
think
relate
about
to
it,
people
it's
like
genius.
that.
Hey Nikki, if you think about it, it's genius because if you throw the shit together and you use minimum shit, you cut your overhead. It's more money for the people.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Exactly.
And you think
Okay.
about it, in them kind of movies, y'all know it's always somebody in your family that act like that. Y'all know it's always one, Ray Pookie, one of them that be high as shit and be saying shit and they feel like they so profound.
Oh Lord.
Hey, let me tell you what the era I grew up in. Okay. Here's an example. I'm gonna be Uncle Billy, okay? So here we go. Okay, now I'm finna play myself talking to Uncle Billy. Hey, Uncle Billy, what's going on?
Okay.
Uncle Billy. Boy, it was y'all. What y'all doing? Y'all got something going on around here, and I don't understand. Boy, y'all ain't seen y'all in forever, and it's gonna be all right because I'm gonna see you again. And
Uncle Billy lies.
Uncle Billy, yeah, and I said I'm gonna see y'all again.
Right.
Pick right back up where the hell he was at on that heroin.
Okay.
I was gonna say, why you ain't do the scratch? You ain't do the itch. You ain't do the itch.
Oh, no. Chicago, the Chicago drug, and I bet you when I say this name, because it was in Detroit too. The Chicago drug was this with the scratch, Nikki. It was called Karachi.
Karachi.
Yeah. Back in the day, the Karachi goddamn it was motherfucking goddamn dope in the motherfucking shit, and people was goddamn using the shit, and they be standing there, I don't know what you need, man. They just a scratching, and you looking like, bitch, what's on you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can somebody explain to me why somebody on? Because y'all know when we tell our age, because we don't say heroin, we say heroin.
Right. Heroin.
Wait, tell me why the people on heroin, they will lean all the way over, but the motherfuckers never fall.
They never fail.
Hell no. Ain't no fall.
When we was home, not this time, but when we was just home, not the time when we just went last week, but what was that, a month or so ago when I went home? Me and Cole watched this motherfucker. It was two of them. Cole gonna say, Mom, is they twins? What's happening? Is they putting on a show? Like they was both bit I swear to God, if I call her down these steps right now, she would tell y'all. We was just staring like I was about to cry because the shit was just like so fucked up. I was like, but them niggas was just bent over and neither one of them fell. What she said was, is it a contest? She said, well, is it one of them challenges?
A heroin addict can look at the sole of his shoes on the front end that's curled up.
Yes, God.
And not fall.
Cole said, was it a heroin challenge or something? Because that's how them two was doing it together.
I'm trying to tell you, I believe Michael Jackson got that part from the motherfucking video from a heroin addict.
Okay. Smooth Criminal, honey.
Smooth Criminal when he leaning over. Oh, dang! I wish Showtime was in here. Timmy can do that. He practiced that shit, so I don't know how the fuck he got it. But one day I was like, "What the fuck? Where the strings and shit?"
Okay.
Mike was out there. Mike done went down to the strip and found out how they did it, and he studied the shit out their ass. So he got.
Okay.
Fuck that. But I just don't feel like that. No comedian. I mean, could you imagine if Red Fox had to go apologize? You know what I'm saying, to the people?
Or Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, especially Richard Pryor, if he hadn't apologized to Jim Brown, like,
can y'all imagine Dolomite apologizing? Rudy Ray Moore, can you imagine him apologizing?
right.
He like, I'm gonna apologize, kiss my ass.
It probably would go like this. Way down in the jungle deep.
Okay.
A nigga like me gonna give an apology. And I said, bitch, you done lost your mind. Cause ain't nobody motherfucking dressing like me, smooth as fine wine.
Okay.
Y'all got me getting ready to go watch what you call more on damn Netflix again.
I used to love when he do that when he say, I said, bitch.
Okay. And Lord,
you know what just clicked in my head?
What?
Because we know how he was. He never said it out loud, but we knew. Put together that bitch and then think about it.
Of course, bitch. Of course.
Ain't that how all the children say?
Listen, Rudy Ray Moore, honey, he was probably one of the masterminds of being closeted, and I have always suspected it. I had just never put it together because I just know his movies or whatever. But I was like, okay. And to know that he built this character.
I want y'all to answer this.
What?
I want you to tell me where the masculinity is in this. Because he used to do that in all his movies.
I was going to say, I'm glad my avatar already on. Because I would have had to put it on.
Listen, that goddamn
wait.
That goddamn baby. Listen, that deal was everything. But you know, he built this character, and you know, hit the world with this character. That every rapper catch the significance of this. Because you have this gay man who has tickled the funny bone and has become the foundation of many of your rappers, honey, including Snoop. Okay. Ice-T. Who Buster. Who else?
Everybody from that era.
Everybody that was rappers, late 80s, early 90s and stuff, they all give it up to Dolomite.
I don't know how many movies you all saw of his. But he had a movie. Okay, well, he got a movie and it's called Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law.
The Devil's Son-in-Law.
I want to know why this damn masculine Karate Joe nigga in that movie, you remember this, he was skipping down the street, pointing his goddamn cane at everybody and spinning around and twirling and shit. If you
so think about that, y'all. Think about what you saying, Red.
He was
think about what you saying. He was telling people, they just wasn't listening.
This dude was skipping. You thought he was
here. What I love about it, because I'm telling y'all, when I watched Eddie Murphy's makeup of him, I get so emotional because he built himself. I look at us, I'm like, child, this is what we doing now. You know, and as far as what we call guerrilla theater and this and the other, putting it together, hell, I'm about ready to do the same thing he did, to go find a goddamn abandoned house or one of these damn buildings
Listen, don't think
We
I
was
ain't
in
thought about.
motherfucking
Y'all
studio.
remember back in the day how we used to have block parties? Then we steal electric and shit from the buildings and whatnot.
Hello.
What? Hey,
Water.
don't play.
You know, hey,
How
a
was the
kitchen
DJ
cord is your
outside with the
friend.
turntables and shit? Because you know your grandma ain't letting him plug up her shit in her house.
Exactly. You
We're
know.
stealing it from the motherfucking telephone booths and all that shit. The electrical pole. Don't play.
Okay. Hold on for 1 minute. Darling, bring me one of those boxes of those bags you just took out. Bring me one of them boxes.
That just popped in my head too. Me and Keisha was talking about for Thanksgiving. And I was like, yeah, Uncle Meech. And I told Uncle Meech and his kids that's at the house, come on, we gonna come over here. Keisha gonna say, woo, we about to have the happiest Thanksgiving. I said, when she said it, because she was like, it's gonna be me, Cole, Uncle Beach. I said, I don't know how many of the kids coming, they coming too. And you know, Keisha, most of the time when she come, one of her friends or whatever come down with her. She said, we about to have the happiest. I said, we sure is. This about to look, this about to be the game.
I'm done.
We gonna be
Listen,
happy
I'm
as
done
hell.
here. I'm done. But listen, let me do this little product endorsement right here.
Okay.
This is today's Black-owned product that I'm trying out.
All right, what you got?
See this?
What is it? What is it?
Shawaz.
Mm-hmm.
These are kitchen trash bags.
Oh, the trash bags. You got them.
I got them.
Okay.
These are kitchen trash bags, and they come 40 in a box. Okay.
What are they? $9.99 a
And
box or something you said?
huh?
They were like $9.99 a box.
$9.99 a box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the way how they sell them at where I bought them at 2 at a time. So $20 for 2 boxes. So it's 80 trash bags. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really strong, honey. I'm really liking the quality of the bag, honey.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, child. Listen, honey. Now you
Okay.
know the children up in here. You know we got all kinds of cans and bottles and shit that we put in this damn thing, and they
Mm-hmm.
have really been holding up. And I'm like, okay, they're tough and things, but this is a Black-owned company, and yeah,
Okay.
you get the trash bags from there. I found them. You see the name SWAA. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's swaz.com. Wait a minute, is it on here?
Is that on
Now,
the We Buy Black
yeah,
website?
you could go there.
Okay, because I've
At
been
We
getting my
Buy
little
Black,
newsletters.
or
I've been
you
getting
can
my little newsletters.
it's yeah, because I put your name up there.
Yeah.
Red, you should be getting them too. Swaz SWAAS.co, not com, but .co.
Oh,
If
okay.
you
Come
go
on,
directly,
use web
if you go
domain.
directly to them, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh yeah, Leah. The trash bags for okay, so I did talk about them here. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
you did. That's how I knew they was the
yeah,
$9.99. Because
yeah.
we talked about them a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
You
yeah,
told us you
these
was
are the
gonna get
ones I
them.
got and things, and I've been using them and things. So yes, honey, we that there is the black product for today that I'm trying carrying on as I
Mm-hmm.
come across them or whatever. Y'all know I try to do what I do to support Black-owned businesses and carrying on. Now, also, let me say this because I was supposed to did this yesterday and I forgot. And I'm gonna put the pictures up on my Facebook wall. But
Mm.
listen, children, you asked me yesterday about my first grub hug.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Listen, I ordered. Oh, when
What
I
you?
bite into a York peppermint.
Ooh, you better fucking stop
Oh
playing with me.
no! Listen to me, child. I sat up here. Y'all know I've been trying to get to Triple J's Pizza for a little piece of a
You've been
minute because
talking about them, yes,
Triple
yes.
J's. As a matter of fact, if y'all look at the commercial, when I do the commercial for the
Mm-hmm.
advertising commercial, I got their logo in there, right? Because all of
Mm-hmm.
the businesses in that commercial are black establishments. They're black-owned businesses.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got Grubhub, honey, and I called them. I said, well, listen, I want to try your pizza because you have this Detroit style pizza and this New York style pizza. Now I lived in New York and from Detroit. So what I ordered was I ordered a slice of the New York style vegetarian.
Was it big? Like
That's
a New
like
York
it.
slice?
Yeah, uh-huh.
It was thin.
And yes.
Oh God, I'm about to die. Go ahead, tell
Yes.
me the rest.
Yes.
Look, I'm having a heart palpitation. Let me know.
I ordered the Detroit style pepperoni and cheese.
Okay.
Now I ordered that.
Now,
I ordered
what's Detroit style? Because I heard of Chicago style and New York style.
Yes.
What's Detroit style? Explain that.
Detroit, usually we do ours like, you know how when Little Caesars came out with the square pizza, whatever, the rectangle.
Yeah. Like okay.
But Detroit style is rectangular and it's layered and it's thick crust.
Oh,
baby.
I can only get like a bite of that. Then.
Oh,
I don't know
honey.
what it is. Because even in Chicago, the deep dish, I cannot eat it. It just be so much. It tastes good as shit. But after I get a bite, I can't eat no more.
Listen, let me tell you what I know. And I need to ask them if one of those J's mean Jerry. Because when I bit into that motherfucking pizza, the sauce was everything. The sauce is spicy and it's lovely and rich and things. But it took me right back to Jerry's Pizza on Livernois in Detroit.
Call them back and ask them in the morning.
This is Jerry's all motherfucking day. I went straight there. I was like, oh my God. And I'm telling you, I had a very, 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 very good experience with the Grubhub. And it didn't cost as much as I thought it was going to cost. Because, I'm thinking this delivery fee was going to be astronomical and blah, 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 blah. It was very reasonable and things, because shit. Now, when I've been into that New York style veggie, I don't like thin crust because it tastes like cardboard to me.
I love it. Oh my God. But probably because that's how I grew up. Philly eats New York style pizza.
Okay, wait a minute, Leia. What you say? Leia said what? Means hit a high note after that first bite, huh? Yeah. You know I did. Baby,
so where's Triple J's located?
Huh?
Where are they located?
Jerry's Pizza is in Midtown, down on Piedmont. They're over by the park. Park. So I'm telling, when I bit into because I ate the veggie first, right? Because I wanted to get, and the
what all did you have on it? You say veggie. What all did you have on it?
Well, it had real pieces of real cut bell peppers. They wasn't chopped. It was real, like they took and
like a long piece, like they just sliced it. Like slice it right on the thing.
Right. It had that banana peppers, olives, onions. I think I had mushrooms on there. Oh, wait a minute.
Did you have some spinach?
I didn't have the spinach. I didn't have the spinach on there. But girl, when I tell you now what happened, because I had got that crust first. I was like, oh, here goes this crust. But the sauce on the crust made up. And I was like, ooh. Then I hit one of them motherfucking vegetables.
Was they good?
Baby, when they were fresh.
Oh.
It was fresh. And when you bit, you was having an experience. Okay? It was really like having a damn experience. And because it was New York style, being in New York before and haven't eaten a pizza, it took me back to New York when I had my first, but it was a veggie, but I went back to when I had my first piece of cheese pizza because the only time I ate cheese pizza
all I need is a regular piece of cheese pizza. First of all, them shits be big as your fucking face. Right. Because it's like that in Philly or in New York. Oh my God.
Girl,
you made me was
that was a lovely experience, and so I've got to put the full review up on Facebook so I can show y'all the picture of what the pizza looked like. So be checking from a wall for all that. But yeah, those are my black experiences and my bar from
Oh,
the
well,
black
then you
owned
know what?
businesses.
You guys, so Big Dave's cheesesteaks. Remember I told you all about them down here. They're from Philly. And I always tell people down here, the reason why you guys, no matter where y'all make it or who makes it, why it doesn't taste authentic is because of the bread. So
Right.
Big Dave's, they get the bread shipped down here. And the last time I was there, what they get is the actual place. It's a place called Amoroso's, because if you don't have Amoroso rolls, then your shit just ain't gonna taste right.
Okay.
So what they've been having now, instead of them just shipping the rolls, they've been shipping the dough.
Oh.
They've been shipping the dough. So, and I happened to come, like, I think it was yesterday, I was on my Instagram, and their page came up. And I was like, thank God, like, yeah, people, y'all really need to, people, if you're in Georgia, you're from other places or from Georgia, and you see all these places and they say Philly cheesesteaks, if you can't go to Philly, but you really want to experience a real cheesesteak, you can go there. He is from there, and he gets the bread shipped here.
How about it?
And meats for you. You know, they got chicken cheesesteaks too.
Lovely. Okay, good.
So,
Now, you know
yeah.
what? I need to find out something because, like, I used to eat those steakums all the time. And I'm wondering, no, because see, with the cheesesteak, honey, they use real steak in those, and I can't do the steak. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
can't do
you know what? The next time I go home, I'll bring some rolls. I'll bring some rolls back, and we can use the steak, but we just got to use the premium kind.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one I buy. Yeah.
When Keisha was just here, she made cheesesteak rolls. I was woke up hungry. She woke me up. It was like 1:00 in the morning. She was like, "Mom, I'm sorry. I knew you fell asleep. I was asleep eating a fucking cheesesteak roll. You understand me?"
Okay. Well, that there is that, children. Oh, I'm telling y'all, ain't
I want
nothing
some of
like
that
it.
pizza. I want some of that damn pizza.
I know, and I
I want to taste the Detroit style just because.
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm about ready to order another one. But this time I want to go pick it up. I want to go look at their faces because I need to go.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you where was it.
Listen, we gonna gas up, bitch. Gas up, bitch. We're doing it tomorrow.
I was going to say, but we can go after we go get the turkeys.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's in the morning.
Yes, I'm taking cold word.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that's 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Because I don't think she
11 o'clock.
Like
it's 11 o'clock and carrying on.
Yes.
I got to look at where they are.
Just look it up. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, on that note, let's let the good people go home because see they done got hungry and things.
Yes. Look, y'all can't see me, but I done walked in the kitchen. See the shit you done started?
Listen, honey, I'm about to go up in this motherfucker my damn self, child, because a bitch I need a vittle. Okay. I need a vittle, honey. You understand? Oh, child. Oh, because I made some last night.
Keisha bought that. She left some. She bought the Walmart kind, the Great Value sirloin Philly steak, thinly sliced, shaped seasoned sirloin beef. Well, I never tried this before, but she baby them goddamn cheesesteak. Them cheesesteak rolls, that shit was good. I think I'm about to make me a sandwich.
Okay, we'll go ahead. So we're gonna do all that and carry it on. Okay. What you say? I'm off work, about to go to bed as soon as y'all get off the air. You know what? Let me let you go lay yourself down, child. See, I love my fans and our fans too to see what we do. What you done did? I knew you over there looking. What you looking at?
No, I want Leah to tell me what that is.
What is it? Shit on the shingle.
Look at
it's cream chip beef. It's cream because that's my favorite fucking food on the whole goddamn planet. I swear to God, y'all, real quick before we get off. Red, me and my brother, we always went to the diner after we were finished doing the open mics and stuff. Every time we would go, we sit there, the lady bring the menu. He say, why do you got that menu when you know you gonna order that same nasty shit that you order every goddamn time we come here? I was like, no, I'm not. Every time I would say, I might want to try something different. Every time the waitress got right there, I said, can I get some cream chip beef on wheat? He said, get on my nerves. Stop getting these people with you.
Hey, this was me earlier.
And I'm making homemade too, so.
See y'all playing.
That was
We
me
know.
earlier.
Ooh,
That was today.
bastard.
That was today, Nikki.
I
I'm
hate
not
you.
with you. Right. I'm not. I'm not with you. I am not.
Now,
Okay.
yesterday,
I
I
am
did
not.
I made this shit out them. Well, when we got on, I had that season right. But when I tell you that shrimp and shit I made yesterday,
Okay.
listen, God, I tried not to eat the rest of it today because I knew Cole wanted a little bit. I was like, Cole, when you got back, I ain't eat all the rest because there was only a little teeny bit left. And when I say I made a full pan, there was only a little teeny bit left.
All right.
But I'm off. I love you guys. Bye. Meet
All
y'all. See you in
right.
the morning.
Okay. Thomasville, Georgia has the best selling food at the farmers market. I had to look back in the kitchen, see who the cook was. A 7-layer cake. Oh my God. Listen. Ooh. Okay, did you just say a 7-layer cake? Don't start my nerve. See, we trying to get off of here. And y'all, Daryl, okay. Oh, a 7-layer cake. What cake? Was it caramel? If you say a caramel goddamn cake, okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't hurt my feelings. Do not hurt my feelings, honey. Because, oh my God, in heaven, honey. In heaven. Okay, listen, we going to let y'all go. Oh,
Damn
what is
too.
this? No, 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 no. Okay. So we finna go do all this, honey. We finna let y'all go. Hummingbird. Ooh. See, I was dating a guy, honey, who, yeah,
Well,
who
they got
made,
me right,
oh my
didn't
God, I miss him. Huh?
they? They got me right today, didn't
Okay. I ain't with you.
they?
Listen, honey, y'all finish all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished and you've been dishing tea. Darlings, honey, with Big Meech and Aunt Nikki and the big guy ally Big Red over there. Honey, if you
Hey,
love us, tell all of your
shout out to
friends,
all the
baby.
box guys.
If you hate us,
Keep
honey,
up the
tell
support.
all their motherfucking enemies here. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, honey, everything that we're doing here will move forward, my babies, honey. Okay, we're going to be here again tomorrow night unless something changes, honey. Okay? And all of those particular shenanigans and things of that nature. But in the meantime and in between time, honey, we will see you all again soon. And yes, and so we love you and thank you, darling. So what? I guess I'll just end with my famous ooh.